under the same moon, we share the love. Embracing the differences like hand in glove. Spreading peace and joy, it's a beautiful sight. Together we shine in each other's light. And how do we stand in love's pure might? Watching the world share in love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in and watching the world. Unfortunately, we do not have Mama Flip, so perhaps if she joins us tonight, it will be great to have her. But if not, we're going to keep moving tonight. We have so much to talk about in regards to Alex Jones and Candace Owens. What do you guys think about what's happening in regards to that situation? As you know, they were allies from the beginning of time, right? I think Alex Jones helped propel her in many different ways, but now we're starting to see a big change when it comes to Alex Jones. In fact, this week he's really calling her names, pushing back hard. But the bigger question that I think a lot of us have is what's happening with Israel, because that seems to be the point of contention when you look at Candace Owens, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson. We're starting to see a big change. So I'm going to get to some video footage and show you what exactly I'm talking about here. Thank you guys for tuning in to the channel.
Say it, Candace Owens is the new queen of black-pilled Q.
Okay, queen of black-pilled Q. What does that mean exactly? Already he's using the term black. That has you quite questionable, I must say. Key Bear says, where's the best place to get a new car? All right, Thomasina, how are you? My cousin is in the building. Good evening to you as well. We also have Stella here holding it down. Stella says, welcome in and thank you for joining. Please be respectful to the host and everyone in the chat. All right, so let's get to it to see what Alex Jones is talking about here.
It was white-pilled, insane Q that thought everything was fine and get your popcorn. And now...
All right, so you should get your popcorn. All right, AI Smart Cities is here, the black pill. Talking about incels. All right, AI was the winner of our grand prize last night in regards to the bringing in the new year right. My Uncle Prince used to always say, rest in peace. He'd say, we have to bring in the new year right, nephew. Okay, AI Smart City says Q is for QAnon. All right, thank you very much. Let's get back to it.
The dark Q has risen. I don't say that because she's black. You know, it's like Fuentes goes, Jones is more.
Well, he don't want to say that because she's black. He's just mentioning it.
Hardcore now. He's dark Jones. Oh, dark Knight, dark Spider-Man. No, it's literally dark Q. I dub her the queen of dark Q, the empress of dark Q.
Okay, so AI, why don't you tell us what is he implying by calling her the dark Q? Or is he calling her the queen of the new conspiracy theories? I think that's a way of interpreting what he's saying. Key Bear says, should I double roll epoxy glaze twice on the drywall? All right, we may have someone here asking some weird questions, but we'll see how that develops. But anyway, let's get back to Alex Jones.
You got the QAnon, you got the, Blue Anon, you now have Candace on. I remember saying to them, like I said, I got to invest.
So now you have the Candace on. He's making her the queen of conspiracy. All right, Sharon, thank you. Nice to have you here. I think the bigger part is when you look at a lot of the statements that Candace Owens is making, she's making it in regards to the Macrons, right? As whether or not the wife is really a wife, if she's really a woman, or perhaps even a man. So that's a big point of contention. She's taken on this big lawsuit, right, in regards to that matter. But the bigger issue at hand now is with Charlie Kirk, right? When he was unalive, well, we have from the court standpoint, in which I'll be covering that case traveling out to Utah, you actually have in the video, you have the shooter on top of the roof. He runs across after the shot is taken that unfortunately took the life of Charlie Kirk. This young guy jumps off the roof of the building with a weapon, the weapon allegedly that he used, which would have been a long rifle. That's what they say, right? He jumped off the roof with the weapon or what have you, maybe threw it down and jumped off, but it looks like maybe that's what it was, all one fell swoop, and then he runs off into the woods, right? So they find the gun, so forth and so on. From the news perspective, there's so many different reports of the text messages that he was sharing with his lover, which happens to be a man who was trying to transition to a woman. This is all, I guess, what's coming out in court. But Candace Owens make a great point. When we look at the video, for my next deep dive, we're going to look at all these different points of the video. So I'm putting it together carefully for you guys. But actually, when Charlie Kirk is assassinated, you see weird things happening around him. So Candace Owens is making some solid points. There are individuals immediately after he's taken his hit, and they reach up, they start taking down the camera. Now, many of you guys who watch the first 48, you watch all these law crimes, right? In these shows, usually everything is locked down as a crime scene, right? So why do you have individuals taking things down? Now, maybe that was legitimate. Maybe they had a real reason for doing so. But for the most part, her points and asking the questions are quite valid, I must say. In fact, you have the individuals online who wants to solve all these cases and so forth, right? They start showing you the frames around Charlie Kirk where right before he takes the shot, there are some guys who look like they're part of his security. They're moving gestures with their hands and so forth. The timing is rather weird. So I get what Candace Owens is saying. So it's very valid points that she's making. But Alex Jones is trying to say, in a way, she's a conspiracy theorist. He's calling her Candace QAnon or Candace Non. So that's something to think about. All right. Stella says double tap the screen, press the thumbs up at the top right screen. Okay, let's see here. AI Smart City says Candace Owens is an incel whisperer, according to Alex Jones. This is a diss, and dark means it involves malicious, death to the messenger, conspiracy theories. Thank you for the elaboration on that point, AI Smart Cities. And let's see, this other individual seems to be trolling, so I won't take that seriously. So let's get back to see what Alex is saying. He set the stage for her to basically be out of her mind in some sort of way.
Get her now. I got a bad feeling. I didn't have a bad feeling. God gave me a good brain. I already knew. I dropped the ball. I apologize. She's a globalist agent. Does you want a war?
She's a globalist agent. What does that mean? Can someone in the audience tell us? Chad, tell us, what does it mean that she's a globalist agent, right? I think AI Smart Cities is going to break it down for us. Sassy Mo is in the building, says Happy New Year to everyone. Shout out to you, Sassy Mo. It was nice bringing in the new year with you last night. Thank you for the support. Patricia says, I'm with Candace. A lot of people are with Candace, but tonight we're checking out the vile things that allegedly is being said out of the lips of Alex Jones, who's also, we're going to get into how he's looked at perhaps in many times as being a conspiracy theorist too. I'm going to take you guys through things that he's said that you'll have to come to your own conclusion, guys.
I want your war. I want it all. I want the doxing. I want the lies. I want the attacks. I'm going to take you on because you work for the deep state and the Democratic Party and the CIA and MI6.
So listen, all the guys, now it takes a lot out of me. I was talking with one of my moderators who, we have these discussions, and sometimes people are so aggressive and the talking is so high up there. It's hard to process that for a long period of time. So that's why we try to keep things, low key, but not too much that we put people to sleep. But this type of talking that Alex Jones does, people love it. A lot of guys follow it, but you'll see it gets a little weird.
I see your ass. Let me give Candace Owens a little news flash here. Bitch.
Ooh, what did he just call her? Like, what's going on here? Candace is taking on a lot of heat from different angles, but you heard it here. It's out of the mouth of, this is not AI. This is out of the mouth of Alex Jones. He's calling her a B, all right? Something to think about.
You don't can sit up there on some hill and tell me who ate the cabbage. You have the left boosting you, the left loving you.
All right, so they're not happy with the left pushing and being behind Candace all the way, so much so that they're making her almost in the sense of the leader, because he says you don't have the right to sit up and be the mastermind telling everybody who ate the cabbage and breaking down conspiracy theories. And no, it wasn't Tyler Robertson who took the life of Charlie Kirk. It had something to do with the Egyptian airplanes, and it had something to do with Israel. These guys are actually going crazy in regards to Candace Owens. It's something to watch. Let's see here. Dave says, I call BS. You're watching TYT, not him. It's not in context. Okay. That's your opinion. Thank you very much.
The left promoting you with your royal husband, who we're about to expose. So get ready for that, George.
Is investigating. Only Candace talks about the Charlie Kirk thing. Only Candace, and you're attacking her. And
her minions are like, Jones says if you don't believe every word the FBI says in the deep state, then you're a traitor in the CIA. You guys literally have more unified talking points than MSNBC. I mean, literally, you're just lockstep horse shit. When I have people trying to bully me, and I know I'm right, I didn't want that to be on this.
Man, this is quite aggressive. Now, we have someone in the audience by the name of Dave is not happy because of the source that we use to get the information. So you kind of get an idea. People get quite aggressive when it comes to Alex Jones, but over here, we're ready for you. Charles says, she's a beautiful black woman. Ooh-wee. All right. Sassy Mo says, why is he yelling? He's the only one in the room. Right on, right on. Sharon says, Mashona, shout out to you. Okay, Jacqueline says he's got some aggressionist Candace match energy. So you think she has aggression too. All right, let's get to it.
You know, case this much.
Tyler.
So check this out. Candace is taking on heat because now she's the conspiracy whisperer, I like to say, right? When actually Alex Jones was the one who kind of got the ball rolling with all of these conspiracies. In fact, he was sued for how much was the final judgment in his case for what happened in Connecticut when those young kids were unalived. And, you know, they tried to paint the picture as though it was some sort of hoax, right? There was a big price to pay for that. And that is a fact that happened. I actually live not too far from where this occurred. So at any rate, let's notice what this guy has to say in regards to Alex Jones.
Robinson was wearing a trans tie at court. He's the shooter. Are you really telling us that we have more universal talking points than MSNBC? When you're the one that's literally parroting the Fed slop that's being given to us through the mainstream news media?
Why are you guys always blaming Israel for everything? Israel didn't shoot.
All right, so we have an individual here that's pushing back on Alex Jones on his approach when it comes to Candace. All right, Charles says Candace is sweet as cotton candy. Yeesh. Okay, Sassy Mo says they're all paid to keep the propaganda going. We're going to get to that tonight too. Definitely when individuals get a little money, they change their position quite often. Jacqueline says, yeah, that was a disrespectful to the parents. Yes, indeed. But they did acquire a massive judgment, I guess, collectively, because there were quite a few families involved. But at any rate, that's something that happened in the real world. AI Smart City says, I'm stepping away from all this. They don't like Candace Owens. She is the Kathy Wood of the alt-right wing. Wall Street gurus don't like Kathy Wood, and alt-right don't like Candace Owens. Yeah, there's such a big divide in our nation because everybody wants to belong to some group, so much so that if a person commits any sort of act, and let's say if you're a Republican, they do something that's below the belt, people will support it because they're part of our team. And that's not the proper attitude to have, whether it's Democrat or Republican. We have to follow doing what's right. Let's get back to it.
Charlie Transtifa did. Really, Alex? When your co-host on InfoWars, Harrison Smith, literally put out a message just days after Charlie Kirk's assassination that Charlie had confided in somebody that he was in fear that Israel would kill him if he turned on them. But you want to make us seem like we're crazy when you're the one that's literally overdosing on Fed slop.
The FBI put out a text message thread of Tyler Robinson admitting that he was the shooter.
Really, Alex? If anyone on this planet...
I mean, literally after the unalivement of Charlie Kirk, immediately you have all of these bizarre stories floating through the media and also in the back chats with YouTube channels and all sorts of blogs, just coming up with anything that people can click on just to make a few dollars. People will tell any type of lie at all. Virgil's in the building, says trans dude or gay. All right, you're talking about the mate of Tyler Robertson. Okay. Mike says the communists, Democrats. All right. He's calling them not Democrats. Democrats' money laundering operation is getting exposed and dismantled. All right. They're getting to the bottom of the Democrats, according to Mike. They're just a bunch of fraudsters. Okay. All right. Mavro says, I always get a red flag when anyone has the planet turning backwards. LOL. Yes, indeed. Okay, that's a good point. Thank you. Thank you. Sassy Mo says Alex Jones still has not paid the $1.4 billion to the Sandy Hook families. Okay, so there we have the amount. Thank you, Sassy Mo. At least $1.4 billion that Alex Jones had to pay because of what he was saying in regards to those children related to Sandy Hook, saying that it was all a hoax, and the list goes on and on. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. Stella says double tap the screen and press the thumbs up at the top of the screen. Okay, get that truth, says demon rats. All right, so people are not happy with the Democrats tonight. Mike says the blue dot cult has no credibility left anymore. All right, a lot of people here are not happy about the Democrats. Patriot says Alex Jones was getting money from Epstein. Oh my, I haven't heard that one. Could you perhaps break it down for us a little bit more, Patriot? Thomas Maddox, we have a lot of new people here tonight, says Alex shouldn't pay a penny. All right, tell us why, Thomas. Why do you think he shouldn't pay at all? Let's get back to this.
Knows more about Patsy's false flags and psyops? It's you. You want to know something, Alex?
And by the way, guys, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. We're also going to break down the whole issue that's going on in Minnesota with the Somalians and all of the fraud. We're going to see both sides of the game, so you definitely want to stick around for it.
Take a look in the mirror, because we are what you were 20 plus years ago when the mainstream news media was trying to close you down and shut your mouth. You want to know what's even more crazy about that?
Okay, so Alex Jones opened the door. He came up with the conspiracy. He's like the king of conspiracy theory. He's the big dog. But now that all these other individuals from around the world are hopping on YouTube, coming up with their own conspiracy or truth or whatever it is, now he wants the door to be shut. Nobody else can tell these conspiracies except me. That's what this young man is trying to say in regards to Alex Jones. Let's get back to it.
Is you're treating us the same way the mainstream news media treated you decades ago.
Yeah, I remember those days. Remember when Alex Jones came out with his stories? We're going to get to these stories now. But when these stories came out, the mainstream media was calling him a crazy too, right? We see that Candace Owens basically responded back. We're going to get to that. And also we're going to look at a few other of these posts where individuals are actually pushing back on Candace Owens. All right, so let's see here. Sassy Mo says, who's in charge of the U.S. right now? Donald Trump. We're going to go through these one by one, but I'm just showing you a couple of these messages where people are pushing back. Okay, so now let's take a look at Alex Jones and some of the things that came out of his mouth. Now, keep in mind what he's saying about Candace Owens now, right? And how she's a little bit off her rocker. That's what people are trying to paint her as, right? So check this out.
I don't always hang out on Christmas Eve or New Year's with my labubu, but when I do, I hang out with this little particular guy right here. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's a populist. He's a freedom fighter. He's libertarian. He believes in TV man.
So there you have Alex Jones hanging out, in his words, with his little boo-boo.
And, well, he likes InfoWars, Alex Jones and Elon Musk.
And his little boo-boo likes InfoWars. So the guy that was complaining earlier, you might like this post. It seems like it's coming from Alex Jones. I think his name was Dave, right? Okay, let's get back to it.
But most importantly, he likes 6'7". 6'7", baby. That's right, going to 2026. 6'7", then the year 2027. 6'7", 6'7". Before you're offered a national TV show.
Now, pay attention to this, because a lot of people feel this way when it comes to basketball players, singers, rappers. They think like you have to kneel down and kiss the throne, right? Well, check this out.
Before you're offered a major record deal, they get you in a room and they say, listen, We want you to reject Jesus Christ and pledge yourself to Lucifer. But they were very serious about the cat and its value.
So did you hear what he said? Before you can indulge in the riches, they want you to reject Jesus Christ and pledge your soul to Lucifer, basically, right? Okay.
And they may want the cat for the Sandy Hook families. So the deal's broke. You guys aren't getting the cat. Unlike Fauci, I don't tell lies. You got that?
Well, he's an honest man. At least that he said he doesn't tell lies. Do you believe that? Sassy Mo says oligarchs. All right. Okay. Sean says American sassy. Okay. Patriot says, according to Isaac Cappy, who helped expose Epstein and his clients, claims Alex Jones and Steve Bannon were both getting money from Epstein. All right. Thank you for that breakdown. We have yet to confirm that, but we're definitely considering all of the comments. Sean says, no, we the people. Okay. Patriot says, Alex Jones is deep state shill. Real truth seekers like Bill Cooper get Clinton. All right. They get unalive. Is that what you mean? Thomas says, to be fair, Alex Jones is mostly nuts. So it's Candace Owens. All right. So you're a Candace fan. Sassy Mo says, we have the power. However, their divide and conquer methods are working right now. Okay, let's get back to this. Alex Jones, we're trying to understand some of the things that he said in the past. It's kind of like my grandmother used to say, the pot is calling the kettle black, right? It's kind of like a weird phenomenon here. Let's get to it.
That's my secret. My brain becomes more powerful every day because I've trained myself not to lie to myself, not to lie to my audience, and not to lie in front of God. I'm not into
Now, that's a noble man, right? If you can do all of that, you're doing quite well, I must say.
Farming, but I just archetypally want to take this dagger and just cut a finger off right on air to show you how much I appreciate you and what you've done.
Man, he appreciates his crowd. Folks, I will not be cutting off a finger because I love the crowd, okay? Sorry.
Because giving up a finger to beat these people's nothing. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
What is going on here? So apparently what they're putting in the water can make the frogs gay. Have you ever heard that one before? Okay, so this is the same man that's now talking about Candace Owens, but he's saying that that's water. I wonder where they get that water from that's turning the frogs gay. He's going to break it down even more.
Do you understand that?
Okay, do you guys in the audience, do you understand that? Perhaps you can break it down for us. How does the water turn the frogs gay? All right, Todd says, weren't you just giving a speech at the Somalian fraud excuse? Okay, we have some trolls here. That's beautiful. Thank you. Your Patriots, that's good too. Patriot says, Candace Owens is on the right track. That's why all the cabal control shrills, Alex Jones and Crowder are attacking her. Okay, thank you very much, Patriot, for that. You're a true patriot. David says, give Alex his money back. He was correct. Crisis actors used in many different issues. I've seen that. There's some truth to that. I'm not knocking that at all. It's crazy that this can be unnoticed. No, it's a real deal for crisis actors. I'm with you on that, David, all the way. And by the way, thank you for your participation. Patriot says, my whole area is ran by Satanists and Freemasons. Okay. Corn says, Alex Jones, LOL. Very good. Bryce, shout out to you. Nice to have you here. AI Smart City says, Alex Jones came up under William Cooper, the author of the book, Behold a Pale Horse. Alex is just way more watered down, less anti-Semitic. Okay, we need to get to that anti-Semitic word. We're going to be breaking that down on Sunday at a high level, talking about Israel and what it means to be anti-Semitic. Meyer says, get the likes up. Okay, we have some supporters here. Let's get back to Alex Jones. Let's see what he's all about, folks. Oh, this is too much for me already. See, there are guys that can do this all day. I can't do this.
Crap. That's why genitals, I don't care if you're black or white, are a third the size they were of a 1960s male. So the media makes jokes about that a few months ago when I gave the example of, you know, if your daddy's Johnson was a foot long, yours is 6 inches long. And if yours was 6 inches, your son will be 3 inches. And the one with them won't even have a penis.
All right. Anybody have the science link to this? post it in the chat. If you have a little science, if you feel like you can back this up. Where's Dave at? Dave, I think you told me TYT this and TYT that, but can you explain this? This is what we want to know. Dave says TYT is cut up BS. Okay. All right. But just focus on that key point there, Dave, and tell us, does that make sense to you? Corn says Alex Jones is crypto Jew. All right. Thank you. All right. Holdy says he is a liar. My frog is straight. All right. So you have a straight frog. All right.
So you make jokes.
Oh, there we go. We found the frog, folks. There's a frog and the water is behind it. Okay.
It's about that all day long, but this isn't a game. I just need to go ahead.
Okay, now the reason why I was showing you that is because this whole show is based on why they're coming after Candace Owens, saying that she's crazy, she's a conspiracy theorist, and she doesn't speak on facts. But I'm showing you that there's more here than meets the eye.
And go to D.C. I need to announce a date the next few weeks. Get a few thousand people up there.
So, guys, now they're going after Pam Bondi, okay, because of various reasons. Now we're going to switch from Candace Owens and we're going to try to understand what's going on in regards to Pam Bondi.
White House, pick a date, Trump's going to be there, and just bullhorn the White House. Because you tell Trump something privately, it doesn't really connect half the time. He's so much going on.
All right, so they're trying to get Donald Trump's attention because of all of the different conspiracies and issues or what have you, whatever reason. Holdy says he's a liar, okay. Corn says his handlers are Jews, okay. All right. Holdy says, because that's the same thing to say. All right, Flowers in here. A lot of new people. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. We have this show every Thursday night. We usually have it with Mama Flips, but apparently she couldn't be here tonight for whatever reason. Flower says, no need, no need. Okay. David says, okay, we're going to skip that for now. Corn says, why even give this man any time? Well, we want to talk about Alex Jones tonight because this week he went full steam ahead for Candace Owens, and we find it interesting. Spec says, Atlanta water. Oh, my goodness. That's quite terrible. My. Do you know why Specs is saying Atlanta water? There's something in the water. Tell us all about it.
Let me tell you, we get 5,000 people around the White House bullhorning, demanding indictments of the deep state. That'll get Trump's attention. As soon as they really start.
Yeah, if you get 5,000 people on a bullhorn outside of the White House, that's going to definitely get everybody's attention, right?
The deep state won't be arrogant anymore and will run for the hills. But the fact that they've gone in with these judges and the corrupt system and ended these indictments on Comey and Letitia James just emboldens this permanent criminal class that is the lawyers and the judiciary. Bondi's all panicking, and I can tell you, this is just a fact. I have it from...
Now, keep in mind, would you believe he's talking about Pam Bondi, right? I'm rather shocked to hear this.
You name it. In the Justice Department, White House, every level, FBI, you name it. Many sources are public. Bondi just does her hair, goes to the spa, it's in D.C. 3 days a week, does Fox News hits, and lays out at the beach.
Oh, boy, we're getting a chance to hear the breakdown of the news. Granted says the making frogs gay has 100% evidence behind it. Okay, all right, just drop it in the link, and I'll definitely break it down. I'll go through it with the crowd so we can hear the science behind it. That's all. We just want to see the sources. Source up. Sassy Mo says he reminds me of the pillow guy. All right. He's the pillow guy. In fact, the pillow guy, whatever happened to the pillow guy? He's a big time Trump supporter indeed, right? Okay. Stella says like, share, and subscribe and turn on your notifications to be notified of upcoming shows. We have almost 500 people here. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Jason says it's true. Florida. Oh, are you saying Florida has a problem with water that turns people gay? All right, tell us all about it. Flower says it's actually true. It's the birth control pills. Okay, now that sounds, we're starting to make sense of this now. Okay, thank you very much. The View says my frog is not gay. You have a pet frog? Very good. Corn says Candace is a Mason. She controlled by the synagogue. She's controlled by the Jews. Why does she speak up against them if they control her? Please tell us all about it. Let's get back to Alex Jones here.
Well, that's fine. You're not a warrior, sweetheart. You need to go away. Kash Patel is a little Hollywood wannabe star. Twinkle toes around with his...
Now, Kash Patel is running the FBI, right? What do you guys have to say about that? He wants to be a star, twinkle toes, or what have you. Let's check it out.
Girlfriend flying around with a giant FBI jet. He's happier than a pig, and you know what? He's not thinking about the destiny of this country. He needs to go. General Flynn.
Okay, so that's Kash Patel that he's speaking about, just flying around with his girlfriend, living a good life. There's been several articles in regards to Kash Patel and different flights, and people are trying to follow. You know, these guys now, they follow everybody. They follow Elon Musk. There's a guy that typically follows his flights everywhere, pretty much harassing the guy so much that Elon Musk offered him money to cut it out. Now, a lot of people are saying that there's some credence to the people being gay or the frogs being gay because of the water. All we're saying is just provide the sources so I can share with the audience so everybody can be on the same page. That's all.
And called the producer right when my show ended at 3 and said it's an emergency. I need to call him. And we had about a 40-minute conversation.
Now, I want you guys to pay attention to what's happening. This is serious here. And by all means, I feel like Alex Jones has a great work. A lot of points that he make are very valid. But again, we did go through some things that are a little sketchy that we're just trying to make sense of it. But pay attention to what he's talking about here, because this is a very serious matter.
He's gotten a lot of intel on what's going on in the White House, who's involved, what's happening. But it's really bad news. But we have to decide what we're going to do. He's going to come on at 11 a.m. tomorrow and discuss it. But
all right, so there's something serious happening. It's involving the government, but pay attention to the breakdown.
There are people at the highest levels of the White House below Trump, basically preparing enemy lists and targeting lists of not just us, but our families. And they got the information through the chatter and what's going on. So they know that the public's waking up, demanding action. And so they're basically lining up ways to neutralize people during this movement. And, you know, Flynn can obviously talk to Trump and talks to him, but he's very concerned about Trump himself and what's going on. And so this is the worst news I've ever.
Man, this is something to think about. I don't want to really speak for it or against it, but I'm telling you, it's something to consider. He feels like people involved in his circle could be in danger from the governmental level. That's quite scary, I must say.
Had 31 years on air.
31 years on air he's been on, and this is the first time he's experienced something like that. So we're going to take that serious. Tekken says it was actually a black professor from Berkeley that figured out pesticide runoff was feminizing frogs. Okay, so now this is making sense. All right, okay. Now it's starting to shape up. Okay, we still want to see the sources, though. If you guys don't provide it, I'll look it up. Javier says all Republican leaders adamant about gay people and their rights stripped are totally closet queens. All right, closet queens, closet queens. All right, thank you for your comment. Stella says double tap on the screen and press the thumbs up at the top of the screen to like the show. Granted says it's the pesticide. Okay, very good. We have Mashona in the house. We appreciate all you do, Mashona. Thank you for being here. She says welcome in and thanks for joining. We want to hear from you. We just ask that you be respectful to each other and watch your language in the chat and respect the YouTube policies, okay? So let's get back to what Alex is saying here. I'm going to play it twice because I think it's very serious, but let's finish it first.
But we're trying to calibrate how to respond to it, how to deal to it. We don't think Trump overall is bad, but I think the smartest thing is once this information comes out, have a major public peaceful uprising.
I mean, I never thought I'd see a day when Alex Jones would be questioning Donald Trump in a sense, right? It tells you the times that we're living in. We're going into new territory, and it's quite serious.
To draw attention to it, to deal with it. But there's other options there, but we're not going to get caught flat-footed with this. I'm not trying to be cryptic here. I'm going to have General Flynn himself. You saw the...
So, guys, they even have General Flynn involved in this situation. So that tells you right there that this is some high-level stuff. Jason says fluoride in the water was even turned humans to where their sexual organs don't work. All right, so we're starting to make sense of the accusation with a little bit more information. Thank you guys for the insight. Sassy Mo says, okay, questions, are seahorse gay because they give birth? All right, let's just consider that. Okay, great.
Letter, we can pull it up on InfoWars maybe, or I'll just do it on my phone. He put out a letter today that was just the opening shot on this and the information that he's discovered that's going on. And it's, it is.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop this. I'm going to go back. I want you guys to pay attention to this one more time.
That'll get Trump's attention. As soon as they really start, the deep state won't be arrogant anymore and will run for the hills. But the fact that they...
Okay, guys, people are really taking this frogs situation very seriously. Granted says frogs was what they tested it on. Okay, thank you very much. All right, AI Smart City says, bruh, they're obsessed with the black male's phallus. Okay, wow. David says, my only science is the AJ has been right way more times than he's been wrong. I don't doubt that. That's a good concept, but we are pointing out that right now he's pointing fingers at Candace Owens, and we're just saying that everybody has a few fallacies. So none of us are so clever, so smart that we don't misspeak or make mistakes. Sassy Mo says the male seahorse gives birth. Okay, all right, so that was a good question. Tekken says the frog suit was a Halloween bit. Okay. Corn says Alex Jones is a coke addict. Oh my. Okay, guys, we don't. These comments are not coming from me, but I respect what everybody's saying. Granted says I agree that Alex has been quite correct too many times. Okay, don't doubt that at all. Thank you.
Gone in with these judges and the corrupt system and ended these indictments on Comey and Letitia James.
Okay, so we're listening to this again. I want you to pay attention to what they're saying is happening.
It emboldens this permanent criminal class that is the lawyers and the judiciary. Bondi's all panicking.
Now, Patrick says Pam Bondi hasn't arrested any of the frauds. Okay, that's what Alex Jones is pointing out. So he's on the money with what a lot of people are saying in the audience. I totally respect what you're saying. Okay, so everybody's basically saying that the chemicals were tested on the frogs and they made the frogs gay. All right. Sassy Mo says a male seahorse gives birth, so does that make him gay? Okay, so we get that question again. Granted says, Candace says a few times, I know because I had a dream. Okay, very good. Corn says Candace and Alex are the same and work for the same people. Who are those people? I think we know, but we'll have you break it down for us. Daniel says, Happy New Year, everyone. Shout out to you, Daniel. Happy New Year to you. I wish you a lot of success and wealth and health for the new year. The Nothing Killer is back, says, it does seem that Pam Bondi hates the Second Amendment. All right. Great point. I noticed that in the media. I was shocked what's happening with the Second Amendment.
I can tell you, this is just a fact. I have it from, you name it, in the Justice Department, White House, every level, FBI, you name it. Many sources are public. Bondi just does her hair, goes to the spa. It's in D.C. 3 days a week.
Now, years ago, Alex Jones, I don't think he would have been saying this, especially with anybody connected with Donald Trump. So the fact that he's going to this level does put some credence into his jar, because he's actually pointing out some things. Now, whether these things are true about Pam Bondi, I can't say, but the fact of the matter that he's pushing back and there seem to be some serious governmental issues happening here, I think we do well to pay attention.
Fox News hits and lays out at the beach. Well, that's fine. You're not a warrior, sweetheart. You need to go away. Kash Patel is a little Hollywood wannabe star. Twinkle toes around with his girlfriend, flying around with a giant FBI jet.
Now, I'm pretty sure you've seen the articles about this, the use of the jets for the, personal lifestyle when it's government money, taxes, and so forth, right? So we've seen that in the media. Alex is on point when it comes to that, at least from what we're hearing in the media.
He's happier than a pig, and you know what? He's not thinking about the destiny of this country. He needs to go. General Flynn.
So he said Pam Bondi needs to go, right? Cash Patel needs to go. Something to think about. Why did Bongino, why did he go away too? Why did he resign? We have to wonder about this. What about Margaret Taylor Greene? What's happening with that? Why did she pull away? All of these questions are valid. These are the type of questions I imagine that Candace Owens is asking, and there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but certain questions can get you in a lot of trouble if people do not want to answer or reveal the truth in many cases. Let's get back to it.
Called the producer right when my show ended at 3 and said it's an emergency. I need to call him.
Okay, so pay attention. We're going to go through this one more time. This seems to be quite valid, sincere, but who knows if it's true or not. We're not really touching it at that level, but we do want to know what's happening here.
And we had about a 40-minute conversation. And he's gotten a lot of intel on what's going on in the White House, who's involved, what's happening, but it's really bad news, but we have to decide.
Guys, we have roughly 400 people here. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
What we're going to do, he's going to come on 11 a.m. tomorrow and discuss it. But there are people at the highest levels of the White House below Trump, basically preparing enemy lists and targeting lists.
Okay, Granted says Pam Bondi because there have been no arrests. Okay, thank you. Just Mona, welcome in. I believe you've been here before. Nice to have you here. Says that voice is cringe. All right. He does have a unique voice. Mashona says welcome in and thanks for joining. Take a moment to hit the thumbs up and also tap the hearts. We appreciate it all. It all helps to push the channel. Granted says only read those in his agreement. Okay. I'm reading yours. Sassy Mo says, no, actually, I'll read all the comments. Sassy Mo says, unless you're trolling, Sassy Mo says, when Trump is gone, they will all head for the hill. All right. I think that's so true because I see a lot of smoke coming from the Democrats. It seems that we go back and forth, and each one takes shots at the other. Kelly says, Alex was right about, okay, the chemicals and the frogs. All right. Very good. Thank you very much for that. Neptune says, yeah. Never let your kids near a maggot if you care about their safety. 100. Okay, thank you for that. M. Moore, welcome in. A lot of new names here. It says Pam Moore, or Les says she hates the Second Amendment when she first started the job. All right, let's get back to it.
Of not just us, but our families. And they got the information through the chatter and what's going on. So they know that the public's waking up demanding action. And so they're basically lining up ways to neutralize people during this movement. And, Flynn can obviously talk to Trump and talks to him, but he's very concerned about Trump himself and what's going on. And so this is the worst news I've ever had in 31 years on air. But we're trying to calibrate how to respond to it, how to deal to it. We don't think Trump overall is bad, but I think the smartest thing is once this information comes out, have a major public peaceful uprising to draw attention to it, to deal with it.
One thing I can't say about Alex Jones, he's passionate about his message for his people, and you can't take that away from the man.
There's other options there, but we're not going to get caught flat-footed with this. I'm not trying to be cryptic here. I'm going to have General Flynn himself. You saw the letter. We can pull it up on InfoWars maybe, or I'll just do it on my phone. He put out a letter today that was just the opening shot on this and the information that he's discovered that's going on. And it's, it is Susie Wiles, it is Todd Blanchard.
So he says the individuals are being targeted by the government and also their family. That is something to think about, right? What do you guys think about that? Okay, we're going to move on now. We're going to talk about the fraud that's happening. Tonight, typically, I interview Mama Flips. She could not be on tonight, so I had to just throw this together, and we're in the thick of it, folks. So it is what it is, but I'm enjoying the show with you guys. Take a moment to tell us where you're tuning in from and how was your New Year's. Just tell us all about it. Okay, let's get to this whole Minnesota deal. What's happening? I don't know if you guys have heard of Nick Shirley, but I met him here in New York City. I was here when one of the African guys punched him because basically he was out there. We were out there filming the feds when they swooped in, because a lot of guys out there, it happens to be that Africans in that area, but throughout New York City, it's not just Africans. A lot of people sell knockoff bags. So typically women, I would say, I say that judiciously because a lot of people identify in different ways. I don't want to push anybody's bell. Okay. But the Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci, they basically ship these bags that are knockoff, fake bags that come from basically China and other places into New York and other major cities. And let's say where you might pay $3,000 for a Louis Vuitton bag, 7,000. Well, you could pick up these bags for $65, $80 right off the street. And sometimes you can haggle the guys down and they'll sell the bag for $40, but it's an actual duplicate of the real bags like a Louis Vuitton. So these major companies like Louis Vuitton, they lose so much money because individuals are selling the knockoff bags. But here's the issue, right? The guys that are actually selling these bags, they're just the end of the game. The actual people bringing these bags into the country, I guarantee you they're probably not African, right? But at any rate, that day they were there because what was being put out on the video through people like Nick Shirley and so forth. Then the feds came in, swooped in on these African guys. And because he was out there filming them in their face, one of them really got really upset, punched the guy. He ended up being deported, right? But even when I go through, I don't dare to just pull out my camera. I try to be respectful because some of these guys look like they mean business. They don't be playing games. I mean, listen, if you're selling knockoff bags, what might you do to hold on to your little career? You know, it could. Well, so we learned from Nick Shirley what not to do because he was attacked out there. So at any rate, he went into Minnesota. Now, this case was already going because 89 people were already on trial. So this is a case that was already moving, but the average American did not know about it. So when he shed light on it, now all of a sudden people feel like, oh, this guy, 23, he went into the city and figured out something that the government couldn't. And that's not totally the truth. But we're going to get to the breakdown of what's developing there. And we're going to see how what he saw. But then on the flip side, we're going to get to hear from the actual business owner, and they're going to give you their perspective. And then we're going to go to a local lady, and she's going to explain the whole story of how maybe you're not getting the full truth from the legacy media. So let's get to it. We're going to go right to this.
Now withholding all federal child care funding to the entire state. The agency says the state receives $185 million for 19,000.
Now, before we move on, guys, I just want to make sure I get to the comments because I have plenty of time tonight. So I want to make sure everybody gets heard, both sides, you know. I don't have a dog in the fight either way. So I want everybody to be heard. You can say what you want to say. Listen, you can take shots at me all day, but just be respectful to the people in the audience. Sassy Mo says, when Trump is gone, they will all have to answer for their atrocities. Okay, all right. Granted says, people are mad with Pam because she has not made arrests. Okay, why do you think she hasn't made arrests? Tell us all about it. Keith says, Alex has a prison cell waiting just for him. What did Alex do wrong? Tell us. I mean, he is quite passionate. I don't see that per se in every community. I find that a lot of the communities no longer have a leader that's actually that you could point to. Even in the Democratic Party, who do you have that's really leading the way? Tell us if you could see someone leading the way right now. It seems like the Democratic Party is somewhat lost. Okay, and I'm just telling you how I feel. Free Soul says controlled opposition. Okay, Corn says, Candace said plain as day, she is a Mason along with Charlie Kirk. Okay, good point. First time I'm hearing that. Okay, but thank you. Granted says Candace is anti-Joe. Okay, tell us, break it down. Tell us what it's all about. Buddy says he never says anything specific, just hype. Okay, I think that's true. I could see where you're getting that from. A lot of people say that Candace doesn't make statements either. She just asks questions. And with that whole style of her just asking questions, you can kind of carry on especially with a strong followership, 3 million views of video. As long as you're asking questions, the game goes on. And I'm just saying game lightly, but you can carry the story on forever, right? All right, Mashona says the views and opinions expressed are that of the person expressing them and do not reflect the views and opinions of the host. Welcome in and thank you. Mashona, you are the best. Thank you so much. Walker Mom says, what the hell are y'all talking about? Okay, stick around and you shall see. Seek and ye shall find. Granite says, I already shared the evidence. Okay, Granite, I must have missed it. Did you put it in a link? Because I would definitely go there. Sassy Mo says, well, we have time tonight. Sassy Mo says, no wonder plenty of Republicans are leaving. Okay, they're leaving the fold. Okay, they're not happy with the situation, I guess. Greg says, why aren't you in prison, Alex? Pay your debts and shut your pie hole. All right, let's move on.
Children, and now that money will be gone. And the agency did not specify any alternate plans for families who will be affected. DHS and the FBI said they were surging resources to Minnesota to investigate what they called suspected fraud sites. This all comes in response to a viral video posted by a MAGA content creator. He claims that he uncovered why.
Notice they say a MAGA content creator. You see that? You have to pay attention to those little telltale signs.
Widespread fraud by Somali-run child care centers in the state. CNN is looking into those claims and has not independently verified the accusations. But the Deputy Secretary of Health and Human Services is taking the allegations at face value. Take a listen.
Intrepid journalists have made shocking, incredible allegations.
Now, I know a lot of people are not happy with CNN, okay? But we show CNN, Fox, MS. We show it all, folks. We try to give you a balanced view. We try to seek the truth, right? We're never at a point where we feel like we have everything figured out. Like tonight, we learned about the frogs and people are elaborating and we grow. That's how we grow, folks.
Of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs.
And I just want to say thank you to everyone who really put information in the chat, breaking down the science of this whole accusation about the water turning the frogs gay. But actually, you guys pointed out that it's more of a chemical base. And so now we're starting to make sense of it's not just a light passing of water, but it's more detailed. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing.
We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment.
However, those.
So now all of a sudden they want to have a process before they're paying out this money after they've put like $9 billion in the hole. And now you want to come forward and say, oh, yeah, now we're going to, before we hand out this money, we want to make sure you who you say you are. That sounds strange to me, right?
So-called evidence comes from a man who has posted anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant content in the past. CNN's Whitney Wild speaks to the man behind that video. And
okay, so did you notice that? They're saying that this man has posted anti-Muslim. So now we're starting to get a different feel here about this, right? Because they're already saying that these two individuals, talking about Nick Shirley and the gentleman that's with him, that they were basically feeding the sharks, feeding the wolves, and trying to basically incite rage for racism and so forth, right? So we're starting to hear that with her too. Let's get to it.
Takes a look at his claims.
We're from CNN. Can we talk to you? This is MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley. Back at a daycare in Minnesota, he alleged was a fraudulent facility in a now viral video.
People are going to say this is a left or right issue, but no, fraud is fraud. And so I'm not out here trying to put a twist on things.
Shirley's viral video released over the weekend in which he says he's
So this is a young man that got punched in the face here in New York. I was there. We were on Canal Street when the feds raged in to arrest all of the African guys. They didn't really tell you on the news. I'm just telling you from the background. They targeted the African guys because I'm like, why would the feds go into Chinatown and start arresting everybody over knockoff bags? But then when I went there, boots on the ground, I saw they weren't after the Chinese people. They were after the Africans. And these guys are on the street everywhere. In fact, I'm going to put out the video tonight to show you what I did film and how they're selling these knockoff bags. All right, let's get to it.
covering tens of millions of dollars in fraud at Minneapolis daycares run by the Somali community was retweeted by Elon Musk and Vice President J.D. Vance. In the video, Shirley tries to open locked doors and talk to people at various daycares he claims are frauds.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. For those of you that have children or have children that you've taken to daycares, are the doors typically open or are they locked? Is it uncommon for the daycare door to be locked? Okay, we're just going to look at this critical, all right? No pun intended. We're just thinking a little bit about this.
Did you come during their normal operating hours when you came to visit?
I came at 11.
Okay, AI Smart City says the doors are locked. Yes, indeed. Sassy Mo says he went to the daycare that was closed. Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit different once you start asking questions. AP3 says they're locked. Right on. Faith Moore says doors are locked and you have to be buzzed in. Okay. And there's also a language barrier, right? They don't speak the same language. A lot of this is they're just trying to figure out what the hell you're saying, right? Sassy Mo says 2 were closed, 1 was open. Okay, we're going to get to all this tonight. This lady that I have her video, not from the news, but from Instagram, she actually breaks it down beyond compare, how a lot of this is just the bootleg journalism, basically.
a.m., I believe, and I also came the following day, later in the day. The point of it is not whether or not I came at the right time of their operation hours. The point is that blacked out doors, they can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers. I wasn't trying to go and...
Now, notice how the journalist she's pushing back. She's going to really ask those hard questions, and you're going to see his demeanor change because it's hard to be asked those tough questions. Mashona says, let's get the likes up. Did you remember to hit the like button and tap the hearts? Okay, it's free. It's free, folks. A way to support the channel. Thank you so much, Mashona, for that. Nice to have you. Michael says, but there was no kids there. Okay, that's what we're getting to now. Not to say there's no fraud, but we're just taking our time with this tonight because we have time. So let's get to it.
And there should be a way for somebody to actually be able to call that number and somebody be able to answer. These aren't real businesses.
But surely you don't think a daycare should just...
Okay, so he's saying, guys, there should be a number there so you can get somebody just in case you're walking up and you say, hey, I want to put my son, Billy Bob, in this daycare. There should be a number on the door so I can talk to them to get in. Okay, so we're looking at this, what he's saying and what she's going to say to him.
Be unlocked. You shouldn't be able to just walk into a daycare.
Should be a reception.
No, they...
Okay, guys, so I'm not using my words, right? I just want to know, especially from the expert mothers. I know a lot of mothers know these answers quite well. So let's get to it. Is there usually a receptionist at the front door of a daycare center? I need the ladies, fathers too, but I want you guys to explain this. Let's try to get to the bottom of it. I don't want to make this about me. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Okay, Can Do Boo says, yes, there is a reception. Okay. All right. Mike says, what daycare runs from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.? Okay, we have to look at that too. So, Mike, we're going to start your question. Everybody, we need to address what Mike is saying, but we're going to get to that. I want the comments to be focused on one question at a time. Mike, we're going to get to you next, okay? Daniel says, those are easy questions, I guess. It's blatant fraud. It's no question. You're about to try to... Nobody's defending anybody. Let's get that clear. We're just having some time to make discussion here tonight. So, don't get into a little frenzy here. Keep it cool, brother. All right. Clyde says the dumb lady is protecting fraudsters. Okay. All right. But her job as a journalist is to ask questions. So that's what this is about. Now, I could look at this. I could tell you my opinion on this right now. And you probably wouldn't care, right? But in the effort of us, we're here to have a discussion. That's why we're talking about this. We're going through the points as we're enjoying the time. Maybe you have a glass of wine or whatever you're doing. Keep on doing it. Bean says office at a minimum. Okay, so they do have an office, but do they have a reception desk where now the door is locked? You tap on the door. When you walk into the daycare center, is there a reception desk that he just mentioned? That's what we want to know. AP3 says someone investigate if there are buzzers on the door. Now that's a good question too, right? Now that's a solid way of looking at it. That should be a great question. Travis says completely fraudulent. We're not knocking that at all. We're not knocking that at all. We just want to hear from the people. Mashona says yes, there is someone there to answer the door and check identity. Okay. All right. So there you go. There's a good answer too. Okay, staff says there's nothing in question. Okay. Are you saying nothing to question? Okay, I get that. Chica says yes, but the doors are locked. They usually buzz you in. Okay. All right. Very good. So we're getting some good answers here. James says yes. There's a reception desk. The kids are never up front. Okay. All right. We're getting to the bottom of this. Travis says, so now you guys understand we're just having a discussion here. And that's why we're having the questions. I don't think anybody dispute that there's fraud happening. In fact, tonight we're going to see who's behind the fraud. If you stick around, I'm going to show you the person who's like the ringleader of the fraud. So we're going to get to it. Michael says, of course, there is. What kind of business has no one at the front to talk to people? Okay. All right. I've been to daycares that didn't have people at the front door or reception desk. So it's different throughout for various reasons, but we're trying to see what the majority is saying here. Ken says daycare hours are usually 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Great point. Okay. Great point. We're about to get to Mike's question before I move on with the video. Truth Seeker, welcome back, says you will never learn anything of much worth when watching MSM. Thanks to Barry. Okay. Barack Obama making it now fully allowed for all MSM to spew never-ending propaganda to the American people. Okay. Thank you. Well thought out. Bean says, who is the bootleg journalist? His name is Nick Shirley. But this day and age, anyone can be anything, I would say. AP3 says, no, her job is to state bias globalism. Okay, very good. Travis says her job was to ask questions prior to him doing her job. Okay, so guys, we're going to go back to Mike's question here that I'd starred. Okay, we're going to put it up. I want you guys to answer this question for Mike. What daycare runs from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.? So start now and tell us, is there any good reason why daycare would run from that time? It might be a religious thing, right? But we're asking the question to see if someone knows why. So let me see if I can catch the comments here. Travis says Omar has denied nothing. Odd. Okay, very good. Biff says Trump pardons fraudsters all the time. He doesn't care about fraud. Okay. Can Do Boo says the amount of money fraud is almost equal to the GDP of Somalia. Good googly moogly. All right. George says the neighboring business said they never saw kids there for 7 years. I saw that. So that's a good point. That deletes from them, right? Looks like it's fraudulent, but there could be an explanation, but we're just having a discussion for the sake of time. Truth says none. There's no reason to be open. What was it, from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.? Okay. All right. Let's see. AP3 says I've never seen a daycare to 10 at night. Okay. All right. So we don't have any good reason for the daycare to run from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay. Truth Seeker says every daycare I ever went to, always in the morning, and the parents came to pick up the children by 7 p.m. sharp. Okay, that sounds about right. In my area, it's 5 o'clock. By 5 o'clock, if you don't have your child out of there, they'll charge you like $20 a minute or some weird number. So yeah, 2 to 10 is really odd, but I was hoping someone could expound on it because, for religious purposes, things could be different, but maybe not. Travis says many people have said they never seen kids in many of those empty buildings. I saw that. So they need to explain that. But obviously, there's a lot of fraud going on. We're not disputing that. We're just having a discussion. Alan says after school care for people that work evenings. Okay. Someone actually reached out to me from Minnesota that is Somalian via email. So I'll probably talk about that a little bit, but we're just stating the facts and going through it. So obviously people from the area are following the channel. I respect that. Faith says parents work all hours, and those are much needed hours. Okay, very good. Let's get back to the video.
Every daycare is locked.
So, Mike, we don't have a good reason yet why the daycare would be open from 2 till 10. So, Mike, I think you're the top investigator here.
Their doors are locked.
And so, okay, you bring up a fair point. Then why can't they actually give me information how to enroll a child?
Federal law enforcement has been investigating fraud in Minnesota for several years. Both Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel said on social media they've indicted dozens of defendants. DHS has posted multiple videos of agents they say are conducting a massive fraud investigation.
Do you think that federal law enforcement hasn't done enough? I mean, they would say, look, these fraud cases have been going on, but they've already done like
Man, she's really putting the screws to him, right?
80 indictments. The cases have been going on, for years.
And why did I show up one day in Minnesota and go to all these daycares, no children, they're receiving millions of dollars. We uncovered nearly $110 million in fraud in one day.
How do you know that all the allegations that you're making are true?
How do I know that?
Okay, Mike says, I don't know why it would be a tough question. Not a tough question, Mike, but a good question, and thank you for asking. It makes for good discussion that we're having. Travis says, I've read over the last couple of years that the amount of luxury homes has boomed for the Somalians. Also odd. Also, they say, right, the new cars, they're buying these luxurious cars, right? And they're saying it's coming from the millions, but this is what people are saying. And we do know people have their motives and so forth too. We're just making it a discussion. 50 says the video has been debunked. This guy is a liar. Okay, so there you have it, folks. People are really pushing back on Nick Shirley. And I could easily show up at a place and slant a video. And I think that's what people are trying to say. Alan says, I've never seen a child care center that worked evening hours, but it definitely would be cool. Yes, indeed, depending on when you're working. Let's see here. Someone said that they heard of a daycare being open 24 hours. So I saw that in the comments too. Can do, but we have so many people here. Thank you so much for all the support. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe to the channel. We do this. We have these type of discussions where we just try to slow walk and evaluate stuff. We pretty much are independent here, unbiased. But we have a lot of Republicans, MAGA, Democrats here. And each day we have a meeting of the minds. So if you want to find out what everybody's thinking and try to get a feel for the just beyond your little group, then you definitely want to start branching out and hearing what other people have to say. We all learn from each other. And I easily change my position with newfound information. I have no problem with that. Candu Boo says 100 million exposed in one day. Wow, that's amazing. AP3 says, no, he's not. It's happening worldwide. All right, let's get back to it.
They're true. Well, we showed you guys what was happening, and then you guys can go ahead and make your own analysis.
We're coming so we can make our own analysis. Are you 100% sure you're true?
Yeah, I am 100% sure I'm true.
CNN is looking into Shirley's claims.
Hi, my name's Whitney Wild. I'm a correspondent for CNN.
We reached out to several of the daycares featured in the now viral video. Only one daycare facility answered and said they are a legitimate business.
Have you seen the videos, purporting that some of these daycares don't have kids inside?
Minnesota Republicans say despite the new focus from the Trump administration, they have been sounding the alarm on fraud.
Okay, Faith Marie says, what about the fraud in the White House? Okay, good question. AP3 says UK just allowed the ISIS Somalia chief to preach in the British mosque for years. Okay, wow. Travis says debunked by who? CNN? Okay, good question. Good pushback. Okay, all right. 50 says the orchestrator of the fraud was a white woman who has been convicted. We're going to get to that. I have her on video. So we're going to get to the whole side of this tonight. If you want to know the truth about what's happening, get a full view, just stick around. We're going through it minute by minute.
For years.
We have talked about fraud. We have gotten stories. We've tried to push this forward every way that we can.
At the daycare where Shirley showed back up, a stream of children walk inside.
You're saying that this is a fraudulent daycare. There's kids being dropped.
All right. So what do you guys have to say about that? There are children being picked up and dropped off there. What do you say?
Off right now.
Yes, the commissioner of children literally said a week ago this place was closed.
Did you know
They're
that?
showing face right now.
A viral video, disputed claims, and their full fallout remains to be seen. Dozens of fraud.
Okay, let's see if there's any comments in regards to children are showing up. What do you guys have to say? Where are the critical thinkers and the expounders at? Myrod says they said they are legitimate. Okay. Okay. David says Lisa, head of the Minnesota State Assembly and candidate for governor in the state of 2026, confesses to working and helping Nick Shirley gather and organize the information that targeted Somali. Okay, so now we're starting to get a little background information. Candu Boo says even CNN can't contact them. A scam. Okay. All right. And I have a guest that wants to come up. All right. Let's see here. Oh, we have Mama Flips here. Okay. Very good. I believe so, right? No, maybe not. Looks like, okay. Guys, give me one moment. We have a guest that's come up here. All right. All right. There she goes. How are you?
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
All
How
right, give
are
me
you?
1 second. Let me put the mic on real quick, if you don't mind. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Give me one
All
minute.
right. Very good. Okay, so we have Mama Flips here to join us for our show. We do this show every Thursday night, so it's nice to have her come on here. All right, Moving Mayhem says definitely debunked. Okay, all right, very good. Let's see. Candu Boo says they can leave the cars when they get deported for federal fraud. Okay, I'm gonna give you a second to take care of your business and let me know when you're ready. Okay, guys, so we do have Mama Flips here now. I guess she'll be joining us for the remainder of the show. We'll find out, but we're going to continue with the comment sections until she let me know she's ready to join officially. Okay, Mashona says, don't forget to turn on your notifications and subscribe so you don't miss out on the great content. Thank you and thanks. All right, so George says, I appreciate your style.
Okay, I'm
Thank you
ready.
very
Can you
much.
hear me?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. George, I appreciate having you here as well. Okay, so let's bring on Mama Flips, guys. All right, here we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. What's happening?
Can you hear me on the mic?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if I can hear you though.
Okay,
Hold
so
on. Hold on. Can you say something? I want to see if I can hear you.
can you hear me now?
I can't hear you with the mic on. All right,
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
back. I'll be
All
back.
right,
Stay
thank
right
you.
there. I'll be
All
back.
right, thank
Put
you.
me in the
All
back.
right.
Put me in the back.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, okay. Sorry about that, guys. So let's get back to it. All right. So let's reset here. Back to the video, and then we'll get back to the comments. All right. So we're going to get started back to the video where we left off in regards to Nick Shirley.
Fraud cases that DOJ is touting began during the Biden administration. Back in 2022, the U.S. Attorney's Office for Minnesota announced 47 indictments for this massive fraud scheme. Since then, they've indicted more than 30 more people, and in total, they have secured at least 56 convictions. Whitney Wild, CNN, Minneapolis.
So this was not some new event that was discovered by Nick Shirley. He did a great deed, don't get me wrong, right? But they've already convicted people in regards to this case. I'm going to show you some of the individuals and actually who was the mastermind behind it. And the person allegedly is not even Somalian, but the mainstream media is not telling you that. And we want to know why. Why won't they tell you who was really behind the whole scheme? Was actually not a Somalian person. We're going to get to that tonight. Stick around, folks.
The group chat is back to talk about all of this right now. And Sarah, I want to go to you first. What do we know based on evidence about the alleged fraud in Minnesota and how legitimate and widespread it may be?
Well, I think a lot of people were very apt to believe Shirley's videos because.
Now, I just want to get in. Vidi's comment says they Somali immigrants on government aid for 10 years. Wow. They're racking up a lot of money. Definitely a lot of fraud. We're not taking away from that, but we're just going through the process of trying to understand what's happening and enjoying the night with a good discussion. How could you go wrong, right?
We had indictments in 2022 when reporting first came out about this issue. It was David Fahrenthold, then at the Washington Post, who started to unravel all of these claims. The reason why I think Shirley's post has gone viral amongst some of the conservative community is because
Okay, well, we want to know why it went viral. I could tell you why too. But I want to cover 50. 50 is saying this guy went to a daycare center outside their operating hours or daycare centers that have been shut down. Okay, so that's 50's position. Okay, Moving Mayhem says debunked. He has 8 people and they were protecting the kids. All right, let's get back to it.
Minnesota is a politically convenient target, not just for the president, but for the party. Obviously, the governor there, Tim Walz, was the running mate to Kamala Harris in the 2024 election. Ilhan Omar has long been a foe of the president's. And you noted up top that the ICE immigration raids on Somalis has been a priority for the president. So all of the
There were a lot of articles out this week in the news saying that Omar her net worth has went through the roof since she's been governor, right? So they're already looking into her as well. These are all things that are happening, folks.
this collectively has made this story something that people want to gravitate to. And in addition to that,
Mike says, I like your style, new sub. Thank you for subbing to the channel. I hope we can definitely build together. If you'd like to come on and chat, I'm looking for some conservatives to come up and join the conversation. I would love to have a show with some conservatives. All you have to do is send me an email and we'll schedule to have you on the show. If you want to push back on things that are being said, that's what we want. We want people from each side pushing back and having healthy conversations. So if you're interested, I'll have hopefully Stella put in or Michonne put in the email address so that you guys can come on the show. Let's talk.
previous reporting that uncovered widespread fraud in Minnesota from years ago also makes people more apt to believe this, where I think a lot of folks in the media, including you mentioned CNN, which is looking to verify this video, are showing pause and trepidation around Shirley's reporting is just that making sure that it's actually verified, that it's showing fraud in a similar way that we all evaluated the initial reporting that.
Okay, guys, Vidi says deport them. That's it. Just get rid of them. Okay. A lot of people are pushing back because of CNN. But we're not just following CNN. We're going to get to different angles on this. Just stick around.
Came out in 2022.
And Antoine, what does it say about the media landscape at this point when a YouTuber with an anti-immigrant past can post a video with scant evidence, we can say, that launches a federal surge into a state?
I think there are different types of media, and I think Sarah's right. Truth be told, there's been local reporting on this matter for years.
Okay, guys, I'm going to start starring this. We're getting a lot of subscribers tonight. Courtney says, new sub, I really like your style. Well, I don't have much of a style, but we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, Mama Flips is ready to come back up, so we're going to give this a try. Let's see. Okay.
Hey, how are you?
All right, quite well. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm sorry I'm so late. I think you forgot that I said that I was going to be away this week in Atlantic City.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Remember we went back and forth? And then also I saw
Okay.
the invitation. So can you hear me or is it too loud over here?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you okay.
Okay, great. Okay, so
But no, you can enjoy your
no, I want to
Atlantic
have my
City.
say about I've been waiting to talk to you about the Minnesota daycare.
Oh, okay. All right. But I understand you're doing your thing. We're
That's
just
okay. I went to another
rolling
room.
through. Okay.
I went to another room. So it's being proven, right, by a CBS reporter. I don't know if you spoke about it. It so happened to be a black CBS reporter has a video showing that the kids were at the daycare center. I think I mentioned to you last week that I felt that the people that actually did the investigation is because of the fact that the current administration is attacking Somali residents. There was an issue with a young man that was attacked by ICE, right? And he's an American citizen. So they became the target. So I guess his name is Nick. I think that reporter wanted to get some kudos, just like the Keystone cops in Pennsylvania. He wanted to do an expose, and he went to that area just to look for a story, and there's no story. Now this daycare center and all these daycare centers in there that's taking care of these kids currently have had their federal funding removed because of hearsay. So there is a couple of videos that's out. One from, and I didn't get the reporter name. Please go on X. I apologize to not give the reporter credit, but it's an African American reporter. I think he's in CBS. Black reporter did a full follow up and was able to prove that there were kids there on the same day that the YT reporter came in, because obviously a lot of people was taking homage to the fact that the ladies, first of all, they had their full attire on, and I forgot what it's called. I call this Hamas. I don't want that's not Hamas. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Hamas. I'm sorry, it's not that. But their full attire has a different name, and obviously you're not going to let a strange white tea man, or any man come into your location. You're just not going to do that, especially with kids. Obviously, if your kids was at a daycare center and the total stranger show up at the door, you would appreciate the owner saying, no, you can't come in. So that's the first thing. So he was able to prove that there were kids that was inside of there or inside the building that was being taken care of the same day that the YT reporter. He was also, because of it, I mentioned last week, we are in the middle of several holidays. They have their holidays, we have our holidays. A lot of family are out of there for the Christmas season. So unless that video was done like a month ago or not within the Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, I don't understand how everybody think that all these kids are going to be there, 150 kids. So I'm taking serious homage. Again, I think the YT reporter wanted to do an expose on Somalia's daycare center because he wanted to get a big up from the current administration. And it looks like I'm being proven right.
Okay, so you're saying there's no fraud at all, though?
I'm saying that according to the CBS reporter that did an expose following this report, he's saying that the location that that the YT reporter actually targeted did have kids inside of there. Now, if we want to go into continuous fraud, daycare getting extra funding for stuff, I mean, there's fraud everywhere. I'm not even, and if it turned around that he was able to prove the fraud, I can't wait to see whether he's able to. But my problem is the same thing with the Luigi trial, right? Yes, it's possible, allegedly, Luigi is the one that unalived Brian Thompson. But the police officers, right, in Pennsylvania did a lot of backwards, questionable tactics in order to get him, right? And it's the same thing with this guy that did the Somali daycare center fraud. If it turned out there's a fraud, okay, there's a fraud, but why did you go there? That's my problem. You didn't go there looking for fraud. You went there because you knew the current administration is attacking Somalia people, and you wanted to get a pat in the back. You wanted to just go after people. Why don't you go after every daycare? Why now, when the current administration is attacking Somali people, that you choose to go to Somali daycare center? It just doesn't sit right with me. So it's the whole racism and the selecting and trying to trap the group of people that I have a problem with. If it turned out they did commit fraud, that's another conversation. But I don't think he went there with the intent, with an honest heart. I don't think so. I think he was trying to get you a got you to a group of people.
What do you say now tonight, just so you know, before you came on, just for the sake of having this show, because, I didn't know what was happening. I played kind of devil's advocate, but ultimately, though, there's like 91 people that have been convicted already or in the process. So you have to agree that there's some type of mainstream fraud happening, right?
I don't know until I see the evidence. That's my problem with everything. I don't trust where we are in this world right now to even say that. I need to see the court documents, what fraud are they talking about? Because let me tell you something, a lot of different organizations are caught up from the COVID funding to scams and shenanigans that happen in even our own community. Everybody's trying to make money. That doesn't mean it's right, but everybody trying to use the system to get money, okay? And if at the end of the day they did commit fraud, then they has to be held accountable. But I need to see the evidence. I need to see what was proven. Just because they arrest a bunch of people, I need to see what they're doing, because My problem again with this reporter, if he struck gold, okay. But I don't think he went there because all of a sudden he decided, oh, out of the blue, I'm just gonna go to this daycare center and prove that they committed fraud. I think that he intentionally went at the Somalia daycare center because the current administration is hot and bothered about Somalian people because the ICE, what happened to that young man, and because of Aman, the congresswoman.
Ilhan Omar. So let me show.
Yes.
So you're able to hear everything, right? So I want
Yeah,
to
I can hear
play
you.
some. I want to play
Go ahead.
some for you that compares to what you're saying. Okay, so just give me a
Okay.
moment. I want to play this here.
A lot of messages about all of this alleged fraud that's happening in Minnesota because it's my home state. The first message I got was from a friend of mine asking me if I'd seen that video that wackadoodle Nick Shirley did going to that quick learning center or whatever it's called. And I'm not saying there's not fraud going on in Minnesota. I'm just saying that some of it seems to be from Nick Shirley. So he goes to this learning center. It's a daycare that has taken millions of dollars. He's knocking, nobody's coming to the door. But it would seem that he's actually at the
Okay, guys, I want you to be able to hear this, so I'm gonna go
Okay, I
back
can
on
hear you. I'm
some.
sorry.
Okay,
They
all
said
right.
they heard the fraud. I'm sorry. Somebody wanted to say goodbye to me. I'm listening again. Go ahead.
Okay, all right.
So I'm getting a lot of messages about all of this alleged fraud that's happening in Minnesota because it's my home state. The first message I got was from a friend.
Oh, and let me get back to being the presenter here. This video is from a local lady who researched this thoroughly. So I want you guys to understand that she's actually pushing back on Nick Shirley. I want you guys to hear
A friend
this.
of mine asking me if I'd seen that video that wackadoodle Nick Shirley did going to that quick learning center or whatever it's called. And I'm not saying there's not fraud going on in Minnesota. I'm just saying that some of it seems to be from Nick Shirley. So he goes to this learning center. It's a daycare that has taken millions of dollars. He's knocking, nobody's coming to the door. But it would seem that he's actually at the back door. So here he is at the front door. It's a restaurant called
Okay, so he's at the back door. You think that? So you're saying you think it might be by design? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying. I believe it's by design. I'm saying that it's just by design. Why would you all of a sudden decide to pick go to a Somalia area and pick a Somalia daycare? There's fraud everywhere. Why that story? And why at this time? Do you understand what I'm saying? It just doesn't ring true that he cares about the children. He cares about the issue. I think that he cares about what the administration was talking about, right? And say, okay, I need now to do, because this is such a hot button issue with the current administration, I need to find something with Somalia people. And I think that's why he did it.
Okay,
I don't think he did it
okay.
because he cared.
So let me explain this to you, right? So I've
Okay.
been out on the streets with him here in New York City because he covered the whole Canal Street raid. And one of the things
Oh, so you know Nick.
So I saw the people out there with him. You know what they were saying to him?
What?
They were saying that he was at the White House, and when people would go close to him, a lot of these people, some of them were Antifa, I will tell you that, but they were saying, "Oh, you don't talk to him anymore because he's friends with Donald Trump, and he's basically here for clout." That's what the local people are saying as we're all walking together, and Nick Shirley is actually in the mix with me. I saw him get punched in the mouth. You know what I mean? So anyway, all right, let's get back to it.
Abdi's Kitchen. That learning center shut down due to multiple violations, none of which I don't believe had to do with fraud. But he doesn't tell his followers that it's actually a restaurant. So I got a bunch of messages.
Okay, so what do you think about that? He's not telling people it's
He's
actually
not
a
telling
restaurant.
anybody anything. And I wish we could find, unfortunately, I don't have my phone. I have my phone, but I can't get it to. I wish I could find the black guy who did the follow-up video about it. Because if you go on, I actually saved it and I was gonna send it to you, but I didn't have enough time. But there is a black reporter from CBS that actually is proving the counter. He doesn't care. I mean, the whole thing just looked very strange and out of line for me. You understand what I'm saying? He's not proving the whole story. First of all, he couldn't get into the building. Obviously, you're not going to get in. You're a strange man coming to these people daycare center, and they're not going to let you in. Obviously, you understand what I'm saying? And I'm proud of the people. So I believe the same thing as the representative talk. I don't know if she's a representative, and other people. Also, the reporter that actually covering it. I think that it was all about gaining favor for the current administration. That's it. I don't think he cares about this situation. Now, at the end of the day, if they prove that there is fraud, just like the same thing with Luigi, the Pennsylvania cops did a bunch of kinky stuff, to actually to violate, in my opinion, Luigi's rights. Right now, if he turns out to be the one that unalived the officer, was it right for them to violate his rights in order to get that arrest? No. You understand what I'm saying? You can't do that. I mean, the law applies for one person, that applies for all. It has to be that way. You know, the bigger group should not mean more than one person, in my opinion. So I think that really that what he's doing is not because he cares about the kids or he cares about the fraud. He did it to gain favor for the current administration from Donald Trump. That's my
Okay.
opinion.
All right, let's get back to it.
Messages about that. And then I got this comment on Instagram, which is a bad faith question. This guy is MAGA. And there has been a huge MAGA push to think about Somali people as fraudsters. Usually what they're referencing is the Feeding Our Future case. And yes, a lot of Somali people were implicated in that case. But what they conveniently leave out is this woman, Amy Bach. In 2016, she founded the nonprofit Feeding Our Future. And in 2020 is when the fraud began. This was at the beginning of the pandemic. This was during DJT's first term.
So they're trying to say, basically, they're going to say in this video, it was a white lady that's behind the whole scam.
Okay.
So that's what they're trying to get at. This is what she's trying to show. It's not Somalian people.
It's like a YT person that does it, right?
She was the one behind. Let me play the whole thing, and then I'll get your viewpoint on that.
He completely mishandled the pandemic to the...
What's his name?
I think his name is Whitney Wild, but I'm looking it up. Give me a second.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening to it.
Point that he loosened oversight on these kinds of programs, allowing claims to get through unverified. And Feeding Our Future claimed that they were giving thousands of meals to children, and they never did. They pocketed that money to the tune of $240 million. In 2022, during Biden's term, Biden's FBI raided the organization, and the organization shut down. There were 78 suspects, Amy Bach, and all of her employees. In March of 2025, 40 of those people, including Amy Bach, were either found guilty or pled guilty. Merrick Garland called it the largest pandemic relief fraud scheme that there ever was. And Biden's administration shut it down. So most of the 78 people who were indicted and the 40 people who were found or pled guilty were Somali, but they were also Bach's employees. She was described as an authoritarian who silenced dissent within her ranks, discouraged scrutiny from state regulators, and cut off people who refused to comply with fudging the numbers. She is the person who created all of this. And now this has become a huge right-wing talking point because of racism and xenophobia. But no one ever mentions her, the person who created it. Now, there's a ton more to the story, but I know that this guy asked me to cover this, to prove that Somali people are bad, because that's what this admin wants you to think. The reality is every community has bad actors. That is not an indication of a community as a whole, unless maybe we're talking about some white women like Amy Bach.
Okay, so that's the lady there that was behind the whole scam. What do you think about it?
I mean, the thing is, there's scams. There's scams. I mean, I'm telling you, there's scams. I know there's scams. Even our own people, we cutting up a bunch of checks, trying to get money during COVID, trying everything. People, there's going to be alleged scammers. There's going to be a bunch of stuff. There's a group. All group have that. We have our YT people who scamming people with the bitcoins. You have Donald Trump selling a bunch of trash to his supporters in order to make money. You understand what I'm saying? There's scammers in everywhere. My problem is that why did he decide to go after Somalian people right now? It's a racism thing. It's just racism. It's not about the kids. If it was about the kids, if he cared about the kids and he wanted to protect the kids and families, so I'd be okay with it. But it was all about, it's just too convenient that the administration are currently hitting, targeting Somali people, and then you have this YT male who's actually trying to do a got you story on a daycare center. It's crazy to me. It's just insane.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to pull up this. I think this might be what you're looking for, but bear with me here. I'm trying to.
Okay, I'm looking at. They said that the person is Whitney Wild, but I wanted to see if that is him because it looked like Whitney Wild's a female. No, the Whitney Wild's a female. I'm looking for the black. Somebody. Whitney Wild also did a cover to show that Nick was lying, but it's and she's with CNN, but it's not Whitney. It's a black male that confronts him.
Well, sit tight. I'm going to pull up something new here.
Thank you.
Just bear with me. I'm going to pull this up and see if we can check it out while you're trying to get that. All right.
Yes, thank
I'm
you.
gonna need you to mute so you don't get an
Okay.
echo.
Okay, I'm gonna mute right now. I'm gonna mute.
While I do this, okay? Okay.
There are major developments in Minnesota's fraud crisis, specifically related to child care. Here's the latest.
We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and
So, can you guys hear this? You can hear it? Okay, cool.
fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says it's freezing child care funds for Minnesota after a YouTuber claimed to uncover fraudulent centers in a viral video. The state gets about $185 million in federal funds each year. The HHS deputy secretary says he's demanded Minnesota Governor.
Guys, we have a lot of people here. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. I'm going to try to get to as many comments as I can. Turn on your notifications. We do these deep dives every week, multiple times. Every day we go live at noon for news at noon. Tomorrow we'll be live for news at noon too.
Tim Walz audit those centers featured in the video. The governor responded on X, saying this is Trump's long game. We've spent years cracking down on fraudsters. It's a serious issue, but this has been his plan all along. He's politicizing the issue to defund programs that help Minnesotans. Some of the featured child care centers are firing back. This one says footage from their security camera proves kids were present when the YouTuber stopped by. Our Connor White went there to take a closer look. All new at 10.
You want to make ready for kindergarten.
This is ABC Learning Center in Minneapolis.
They have to learn ABC and numbers.
Director Ahmed Hassan gave WCCO a tour after finding his daycare in the national spotlight.
All right, we've arrived to
Wow, this is the first time I'm seeing this. This is crazy.
ABC Learning Center.
In a now viral video, right-wing YouTuber Nick Shirley claims nearly a dozen daycare centers in Minnesota are taking public funds but not providing a service. He says ABC Learning Center is one of them, knocking on the door in mid-December.
I would like to check a child in the daycare.
Hassan says his employee didn't respond because Shirley was in a group of about 8 people, and his staff were concerned about recent ICE activity.
Is this daycare committing fraud?
No, we're not committing fraud.
Hassan showed us security footage from the same day Shirley was here. According to the timestamps in the videos, this woman takes a young child into the center at around 9 a.m. that day. About 3 hours before Shirley arrives at the door.
What in the world? Wow.
Closer to the street. Within the hour after Shirley leaves, a woman arrives at the other door with a stroller. A larger family heads inside a few hours later. Tuesday afternoon.
Now, I have to say, this is a little different than what we've been seeing. Wow.
WCCO found at least a dozen children at ABC Learning Center, which is licensed with the state. Records show Minnesota officials last visited the daycare in November, noting some corrected and ongoing violations related to day-to-day operations, but no record of fraud.
What did I do? I'm just a typical human being who wants to live and do the right thing. I have kids to feed.
Umi Hassan, the daycare's current owner, believes these latest fraud accusations are political. Both she and Hassan are Somali Americans.
We pay our taxes. We do whatever we can to be a law-abiding citizen. At the same time, when one Somali does something wrong, we all get collective punishment.
With Shirley's video now approaching 2.3 million views on YouTube alone, they say they are getting nonstop phone calls harassing them.
I was looking for a place for my granddaughter.
With many of those calls attached to out-of-state phone numbers.
They normally say, knock, knock, we're gonna come. You're gonna arrest, something like that.
Hassan says they turned over attendance records to comply with the Department of Homeland Security request. They're now waiting to hear back. CBS News is reviewing records related to the same daycares. All but 2 have active licenses. And Aaron, while the active places have violations related to safety or staff training, there's no recorded evidence of fraud specifically.
Okay, interesting. Connor, thank you so much. Well, another facility highlighted in the YouTube video was Quality Learning Center. The people operating it would not speak with us, but we did talk to a mother dropping off her kids.
I take my kids here, 2 o'clock to 10. Yeah, there's a lot of kids inside.
We spoke with another woman who says she owns the building that houses the daycare. She says they've been operating there since 2017.
Wow, that's much different than what we've been hearing, right?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
But exactly, this is why I was telling you. Like, I meant to send you several videos. Unfortunately, I got busy with New Year's. But exactly, this is the videos that I was seeing, and it's all over X. The people are going there now. They're talking to parents, right? They're showing that they can't show the kids. They can't. It's an unsafety reason. I don't know why people are just so ridiculously racist and just not thinking. Like, if you are a parent, any parent, you're not gonna want a strange man knocking at the door trying to film your children. I don't care if it's a reporter or not. I mean, you're not going to do that. Now you have all these parents who are being covered, who have to go to work, who has to make a living, who drop off their kids to the daycare, and then now they have to fear because there's hatred. Because of lies that the daycare is being attacked. Now they have to fear that their kids are going to be in harm's way. What about these people that's Americans? They're Americans, right? We're not talking about maybe a couple, maybe immigrants, but we're talking about American-born people that cannot have the services that they are allowed to have because a racist reporter went there to do a story, didn't do a complete story, did a story, didn't do an investigative story, did a story because he wanted to carry favor for Donald Trump, the current administration. It's unfair. And there's other reports that's coming out. Now, right now, they didn't even do a full investigation. Now they're arresting, 92 people? How many daycares we have? That we have that's not doing fraud, but because of unfair, incomplete investigation, now their doors are closed in Minnesota. It's crazy. And it all started because a white T guy wanted to do a racist story, because that's what it's about.
Wow. This is shocking business here. I wanted to show you something specifically about Alex Jones, too. So I'll get that
Lord.
to you. I'll
Not
get
our
that to you
friend. All right,
before.
I'm going to mute and listen. I'll be back.
All right. I'm going to show you this other story first, though, before we move on to that. Just give me 1 second here.
Homeland Security officials are on the ground in Minnesota conducting a massive investigation into multiple fraud schemes happening.
This comes as a group of Minnesota GOP lawmakers urging Governor Tim Walz to resign.
Madeline Rivera joins us live from Washington with the latest. Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning. Attorney General Pam Bondi says they've been looking into these allegations of fraud for months, and they expect more prosecutions will be coming. So far,
I can't hear the report. I'm sorry.
85 of whom are of Somali.
You can't hear it at all?
I can't hear. Is it me? Am I doing something? Did I lose the sound?
Hold on 1 second. Let's see if hold on. Let's see.
Dissent. DHS officials posted footage on X
sorry, I can't
yesterday
hear.
showing federal
Okay. Those of you in the audience, can you hear the video?
agents on the ground in Minneapolis investigating suspected cases of fraud in daycare and healthcare centers. It comes after an independent reporter, Nick Shirley,
Stella, Mishona, can you guys hear the video?
video investigating federally funded child care centers in the Twin Cities went viral.
Okay, so they can hear the video. You can't hear it? All right. So, okay. So we'll pass on that if you can't hear it, but they can hear it. Everybody can hear it except you. I'm not sure what the issue is. Let me try one thing. I'm going to remove this from the stage. Give me 1 second here. Okay. And we're going to try it this way. I'm going to remove it here. And
Minnesota
can you hear it
officials are
now?
pushing back, though, saying previous investigations into
Still nothing for you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, so there must be some. Try going out and coming back in. Can you hear me? Everybody else can hear. It's just you.
Can anybody else hear? Because I can't hear.
We can hear you and they can hear me, and they can hear the video. I'm not sure what the issue is, so we'll just pass on that. I'm gonna so anyway, we'll do this. So tell me ultimately why you feel there's no fraud in this case, because that baffles me. I feel like there's fraud there because they've already pulled these people into court and so forth. Even though I was playing devil's advocate, ultimately, we were looking at it from a critical standpoint just to make a discussion. Looks like we lost her. Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on here anymore. Okay, so she left and she's coming back in. I'm going to play this video out and then we'll get back to the show.
The locations referenced in Shirley's videos did not uncover evidence of fraud. One childcare business that's now under the microscope is Quality Learning Center in Minneapolis, which misspelled learning on its sign. They say they're fixing the spelling.
A lot of the journalism that's been going on the last couple of days has been really dishonest. I don't want to point fingers at anybody, but I do feel like what was done was someone came to our building outside of operating hours. When there's a specific sign on our door that says our days and our hours, he came outside of those hours and then claimed, hey.
Okay, somebody asked me to start the video over. I'm going to do it for the sake of the audience. She's back, so let's see if we can get her back in here. 1 second.
I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm going to see if you can hear the video.
Yes, and there's a lot of people in the comment that's calling me unintelligent and in a very negative way.
Worry.
No, I'm not worried about it. I just want them to understand that I see your comment, but it doesn't impact me at all because I know who I am as a person. And if you knew who I am and what my background and where I come from, you would feel very silly. But go ahead. I'm going to mute and I'm going to listen. Go ahead.
Okay, but let me know first if you can hear this video.
All right, well, Homeland Security officials are...
You can hear that now?
Yes, I can hear it now.
All right.
Yes.
So we're going to go through this, and then I want to go through this bank robbery that happened last night where people... they broke into people's safety deposit boxes. It's like, you know, one guy had his whole life savings into the box, allegedly, and they only insured up to $24,000. So anything or $12,000, one of the two, you'll see in the when I play it. All right, but let's get to this, and then we'll move on.
On the ground in Minnesota, conducting a massive investigation into multiple fraud schemes happening in the city.
This comes as a group of Minnesota GOP lawmakers urging Governor Tim Walz to resign.
Madeline Rivera joins us live from Washington with the latest. Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning. Attorney General Pam Bondi says they've been looking into these allegations of fraud for months, and they expect more prosecutions will be coming. So far, she says 98 people have been charged, 85 of whom are of Somali descent. DHS officials posted footage on X yesterday showing federal agents on the ground in Minneapolis investigating suspected cases of fraud in daycare and healthcare centers. It comes after an independent reporter, Nick Shirley's video investigating federally funded child care centers in the Twin Cities went viral. Minnesota officials are pushing back, though, saying previous investigations into the locations referenced in Shirley's videos did not uncover evidence of fraud. One child care business that's now under the microscope is Quality Learning Center in Minneapolis, which misspelled learning on its sign. They say they're fixing the spelling.
A lot of the journalism that's
Okay, so this is the part I want you to focus on here.
been going on the last couple of days has been really dishonest. I don't want to point fingers at anybody, but I do feel like what was done was someone came to our building outside of operating hours. When there's a specific sign on our door that says our
So this is the guy responsible for the leering instead of learning. It's called leering.
days and our hours, he came outside of those hours and then claimed, hey, they're closed and they're still making money. They're using taxpayer money to work. And it's like, you don't come outside of operational hours and then say they're using taxpayer money. That was completely false.
Regardless, state Republicans are slamming Governor Tim Walz, saying they've been sounding the alarm over fraud in Minnesota's child care space for years.
So what are your thoughts on that?
As far as them doing investigation for months, is that part of it?
No, the guy said, listen, you know, it's not fraud. He had an explanation. He's pushing back on Nick Shirley.
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear his explanation. What was his explanation?
Oh, okay. If you can't hear, it's okay. We could.
No. I want to hear it one more time because I heard a portion of it, but it was a little low. Can you play it just one more time for me?
He was just pushing back on Nick Shirley, showing that, you know, basically there's a second side to this. I'll let it play for you one more time here.
Okay, sorry about that. Now I'm going to listen. Okay, go ahead.
A lot of the journalism that's been going on the last couple of days has been really dishonest. I don't want to point fingers at anybody, but I do feel like what was done was someone came to our building outside of operating hours. When there's a specific sign on our door that says our days and our hours, he came outside of those hours and then claimed, hey, they're closed and they're still making money. They're using taxpayer money to work. And it's like, you don't come outside of operational hours and then say they're using taxpayer money. That was completely false.
That's a
Regardless,
great,
Republicans are slamming.
That's a great explanation. It's almost the same thing as I was saying before, but I didn't think they had outside. It makes sense outside of Operation Out. I'm thinking that at the holidays myself, like, there's a lot of holidays and people are taking their kids out and they're doing family things. We had Thanksgiving, we had Christmas, we have New Year's, and we also have the various holidays. Different denominations have their separate holidays, right? So I am not surprised, but it would be interesting if they could prove that he came after hours also. Either way, no matter what he did not do a full investigation. He was doing a special got you. And the reason why he was doing the got you is because he knew that the Somali group of people were being under attack. Why didn't he do a full investigation? Now they're talking about how they've been investigating them for months. What do you mean for months? How many months have you been investigating Somalia's daycare center? How many months? I mean, I want to see the report. I want to see what type of evidence they have. And if I am one of those daycare centers that's being maligned and threatened, I'm gonna sue that I'm gonna sue that YouTuber. We might as well. Why is it a third one? We might as well sue. I mean, all the YouTubers getting sued, but I would sue him. He better prove his case.
Right, right. Okay, so I had put together a special presentation to get your viewpoint on it tonight, but it seems that you're maybe in a loud place of some sort. But if we can't get through it, we can reschedule. I can give it a shot and see what you think. But I want to know what you think about Alex Jones attacking Candace Owens, and I want you to pay attention to some of the things he's saying about her.
I'll just say it. Candace Owens is the new queen of black-pilled Q. It was white-pilled, insane Q that thought everything was fine and get your popcorn. And now the dark Q has risen. I don't say that because she's black. It's like Fuentes goes, Jones is more hardcore now. He's dark Jones. Dark Knight, dark Spider-Man. No, it's literally Dark Q. I dub her the queen of Dark Q, the empress of Dark Q. You got the QAnon, you got the, Blue Anon, you now have Candace on. I remember saying to them, like I said, I got to investigate her now. I got a bad feeling. I didn't have a bad feeling. God gave me a good brain. I already knew. I dropped the ball. I apologize. She's a globalist agent. Because you want a war? I want your war. I want it all. I want the doxing. I want the lies. I want the attacks. I'm going to take you on. Because you work for the deep state and the Democratic Party and the CIA and MI6, and I see your ass. Let me give Candace Owens a little news flash here. Bitch.
This racist piece of trash. Let me tell you something. Candace, I'm not a fan of Candace. I'm telling you, Candace, if you watch this, girl, you better drag this home. You better drag him. You better drag him. You better find every single, he has a lot of tea. Candace, don't play with me. First of all, now you're aligning with black. Now you're going to understand what it's like being a black woman in America. Because you got this white tea racist a-hole that's coming after you. He's coming after you hard. He's disrespecting you, calling you out of name. Girl, every time you came after all of us, your black sisters, your black brothers, and everybody else, and stuff like that over COVID, you need to put all that energy. You need to put a pause on everybody else and go after this MF right there. You need to drag him. He already going through stuff with his wife and his children. You got the divorce paper. Dig up the court trials. Dig up the paperwork or what? Talk about what he said about Sandy Hook. Talk about how he got a lawsuit. Talk about his bankruptcy. Girl, this should be your project. Alex Jones, don't stop. Pause CK unalignment for a minute and do a special expose on this MF, because this man got to learn. And I think that Candace Owens is the white wing, brown, black face person. They may be able to do that crap, because this is crazy. Racist a-hole. That's what I think.
Okay.
Did she say anything yet? Did she do a live about him yet? She didn't do a live about him yet?
She responded. I'm going to pull that up in a few minutes.
Yeah, please.
I had everything lined up for you tonight to go through it bit by bit.
I'm so sorry. I told you I wasn't going to be around. I told you.
I didn't recall that. So anyway, let me.
Remember, I said it's New Year's. I said, you're going to do a live on New Year's? I said, I'm not going to be around.
I knew for Christmas. I didn't hear the New Year part, but
I'm
it's okay.
sorry. I'm
Oh,
sorry about that.
it's okay. We were pushing through. So anyway, let's keep pushing here.
You don't can sit up there on some hill and tell me who ate the cabbage. You have the left boosting you, the left loving you, the left.
I like how he says she's sitting up there, trying to say who ate the cabbage. That's a good one. I'll have to use that one.
Make a cabbage? What does that mean? Hold on, pause a second. What does that mean anyway? All of us understand that.
He said you don't get to sit, up here and tell us who ate the cabbage. Like she's the one trying to tell who shot Charlie Kirk, and she knows everything about the Macrones. She's telling who ate the cabbage like she know everything. That's what he's saying.
That's what he said. First of all, she can do it. And beforehand, when she was cursing out and telling off black folks and everything and stuff like that, and talking about anti-pro-choice and all that stuff, and when she was on our behind, you guys were loving her. You guys were loving her. The Whitey, the Alex Jones in the world, the CK of the world, the Nick F in the world, the Tucker Carlson in the world, the Meg Ryan in the world. All of you guys was kissing her hands because she was representing a brown-faced right wing. Now all of a sudden, you guys are pissed off now. Now you trying to put her in the black place and tell her she ain't about nothing. Oh, I can't wait till she tear you down. She gonna drag that, but she gonna drag him. She is. But I'm ready to listen more. Come on, let's go.
You with your royal husband, who we're about to expose. So get ready for that, George.
Is investigating. Only Candace talks about the Charlie Kirk thing. Only Candace, and you're attacking her. And
her minions are like, Jones says if you don't believe every word the FBI says in the deep state, then you're a traitor in the CIA. You guys literally have more unified talk.
Hey, I want to say thank you to AP3. There's a lot of people here that have been here all night long. Callie, Maggie, so many people have been here, Mike and so forth. Dave, thank you guys for all the support. It's amazing.
Talking points at MSNBC. I mean, literally, you're just lockstep horse shit. When I have people trying to bully me, and I know I'm right, I didn't want that to be on this,
Mr. How Hod's in the building. Shout out to you.
Case this much.
Tyler Robinson was wearing a trans tie at court. He's the shooter. Are you really telling us that we have more universal talking points than MSNBC? When you're the one that's literally parroting the Fed slop that's being given to us through the mainstream news media?
Why are you guys always blaming Israel for everything? Israel didn't shoot Charlie, Transtifa did.
Really, Alex? When your co-host on InfoWars, Harrison Smith, literally put out a message just days after Charlie Kirk's assassination that Charlie had confided in somebody that he was in fear that Israel would kill him if he turned on them. But you want to make us seem like we're crazy when you're the one that's literally overdosing on Fed slop.
The FBI put out a text message thread of Tyler Robinson admitting that he was the shooter.
Really, Alex? If anyone on this planet knows more about Patsy's false flags and psyops, it's you. You want to know something, Alex? Take a look in the mirror. Because we are what you were 20 plus years ago when the mainstream news media was trying.
So do you remember those days when Alex Jones had first came out and Legacy Media was calling him cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right?
Yeah, he was a straight up nut. He still is a straight up nut. Like he's a nut. Like everybody's calling him. And then when did Candace Owens became left? When did Candace Owens came left? What is he talking about? Oh, she's representing the left loving him. The left ain't loving Candace Owens at all. That's the genius of Candace Owens. Candace Owens has all her haters and all her supporters listening to her at the same time. And because you listen to somebody don't mean that you support them and you love them. You just listen to see what kind of crazy shit or what kind of stuff she's coming out of her mouth because she's going after the people like the friend of my enemy is my friend kind of tactics. You understand what I'm saying? She's getting everybody together. That's it. But she's not a left spokesperson. What is he talking about?
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to you, Rachel. And also, Mr. How Hot has COVID. We hope you feel better. All right, let's get back to it.
To close you down and shut your mouth. You want to know what's even more crazy about that? Is you're treating us the same way the mainstream news media treated you decades ago.
Okay, so this is the response I have, and we're going to go through it. This is Candace's response pushing back. And these are ladies pushing back on Candace Owens. Right here. Are you having trouble hearing?
I don't always hang out.
I can hear you.
Okay, so here are a couple of the videos where back in the day, mainly when Alex was coming up with his conspiracies. Let's go through them.
on Christmas Eve or New Year's with my LaBoo-Boo.
Right now, he's with little Boo Boo, so you have to see the picture. That's Boo Boo.
But when I do, I hang out with this little particular guy right here. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's a populist. He's a freedom fighter. He's libertarian. He believes in team humanity. And, well, he likes InfoWars, Alex Jones, and Elon Musk. But most importantly, he likes 6'7". 6'7", baby. That's right, going to 2026. 6'7", then the year 2027. 6'7", 6'7". Before you're offered a national TV show, before you're offered a major record deal, they get you in a room and they say, listen, we want you to reject Jesus Christ and pledge yourself to Lucifer. But they were very...
What do you think about that? You think that that's smart? True?
He's never been smart. He's never been smart. The man got sued by Newtown family members because he said that what happened in Newtown, Connecticut was fake. He was never smart. He was always a cuckoo for conspiracy person, and he still is. Right now, what he's trying to do is he's trying to now use somebody else as a means to bring up his audience because he had to file for bankruptcy because he owes Newtown family millions of dollars. So he is definitely an original conspiracy nut, and he still is.
All right, very good. Let's get back to it.
Very serious about the cat and its value, and they may want the cat for the Sandy Hook families. So the deal's broke. You guys aren't getting the cat. Unlike Fauci, I don't tell lies. You got that? That's my secret. My brain becomes more powerful every day because I've trained myself not to lie to myself, not to lie to my audience, and not to lie.
Good night to Uncommon Woman. Shout out to you. Thanks for being here.
In front of God. I'm not into self-harming, but I just archetypally want to take this dagger and just cut a finger off right on air to show you how much I appreciate you and what you've done. Because giving up a finger to be...
That's love right there, right?
The man is a psychopath. Sociopath, psychopath. We no love. The man is nuts. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. We need to just appreciate the fact that he's crazy, and we could move on. Like, he's crazy.
All right.
These people's nothing. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Yes, Kane, I had a very good new year. I spent it on air, bringing in the new year with everybody here. So today was good and pleasant today. So Alex is saying the water is making the frogs gay.
The what is... I don't know why we're listening to him. Why we even giving him air? The man is nuts. The man is cooking for Cocoa Puffs. He always have been, and this is why it's a shame now that he wants to kiss Donald Trump behind and everybody else behind. That he's going after Candace Owens because he thinks that's his way back in to MAGA. MAGA didn't leave you, babe. MAGA's still there supporting you. Why are you stressing the rest of us out with your nonsense? We know you're crazy. He's crazy. We know this.
Wow, amazing. All right, so I want to show you this here. This happened this morning in Germany, I believe.
We are learning of an elaborate heist in Germany where thieves used a drill to break into a bank vault. Police say an estimated 30 million euros in cash, jewelry, and gold is missing from the safety deposit boxes. Stephanie London is live in London with Stephanie Bennett's live in London.
I can't hear it again.
Okay, all right. So if you can't hear it, we'll just we'll pause it there and call it a night for the video.
No, but it's not because of me. I mean, I can hear everything, but I think did you unmute it, or can you hear it, or you want me to come out and come back in?
Yeah, you could try that. Try going out and coming back in, see if it
Okay,
makes
I'll
a
come right back.
difference.
I'll come right back.
Can you guys hear the video? Tell me if you can hear this video when I play it.
How many people have been impacted?
Hey, Mike, good morning. Yeah, well, bank and police officials, they say around 2,700 customers have been impacted. No arrests have been made, and the suspects are still on the run. Take a look at some of this footage. Panicked customers, they gathered.
Now, guys, I want you to pay attention to how these individuals lost their money that was in the safety deposit box. Like, what's up with that? Their gold, their jewelry, what's going on? I mean, All right, let me see if you can hear it now.
Outside to demand answers.
Okay, so that's the key going forward. I'm going to start it over, but this is a crazy story. I hope it doesn't happen in the United States, but I guarantee it will. Here we go. Let's see.
In Germany, where thieves used a drill to break into a bank vault. Police say an estimated 30 million euros in cash, jewelry, and gold is missing from the safety deposit boxes. Stephanie Bennett's live in London with the latest. Stephanie, how many people have been impacted?
Hey, Mike, good morning. Yeah, well, bank and police officials, they say around 2,700 customers have been impacted. No arrests have been made, and the suspects are still on the run. Take a look at some of this footage. Panicked customers, they gathered outside to demand answers from officials. About 3,000 safety deposit boxes were broken into, making up more than 95% of the bank's inventory. Police believe the theft is worth between $11 and $105 million, as the boxes contained cash, jewelry, gold, among other items. One man has been a customer for 25 years and says his retirement savings were inside his deposit box.
I didn't sleep last night. No information is coming out. No one is coming out. All they need to do is put up a sign which safe deposit boxes are affected. Not everyone is affected, but there is no information. They are not coming outside. It's sad. It'll be a bloody new year, to put it bluntly.
Police say a fire alarm first alerted them to the bank shortly before 4 a.m. Monday. They didn't find a fire, but a massive hole in the wall and the vault ransacked. Using a large drill to break through that wall, police believe the suspects gained access from an adjacent underground parking garage. Video surveillance then showed several masked thieves escape in an Audi RS6.
What do you think about the people that lost their belongings that were in the safety deposit box?
I think it's horrible. But what I'm concerned about is that they have, I thought all banks have insurance to cover anything that is taken from their bank. So it's horrible what is happening. It's horrible for the people. I hope they investigate and they find the people that did it. But it's almost like, I don't know if you've seen the movies where they had these elaborate bank robberies in Europe. It looked like it's an upgraded one. Apparently, the movie was based on a true story, where it was like about I think about 6 or 7 people who actually robbed the bank. They eventually got caught and unalived and stuff like that. So, but I think it's horrible that this has happened. But I think the bank needs to be held responsible and give these people back their money. Why do you have insurance if you can't get your money back? It wasn't your fault. They didn't lose it on their own. So I think it's horrible.
In this video, if I keep playing it, I think they only get, it's either 12 or 24,000 that they get. So some of the guys said they lost their whole life saving. Mike says, but it's okay with Somalians stealing all that money, but you have a problem with this. That's what he's saying to you.
We don't know that Somalia is stealing all this money, Mike. Okay, every group. What I'm saying to you is that you see, this is why listening helps out in a conversation like this. As I mentioned to you very early on, my problem is that this reporter went after the group of Somalian because they were trying to carry favor with the current administration, who is currently attacking Somalian people. He doesn't care about the kids. He doesn't care about the fraud. He went after them for a specific reason. That's my problem. I said I need to see the case to see whatever fraud they have, but not every daycare center is actually committing fraud. But all of them is being bunched into one group because this one white tea man named Nick, a YouTuber, decided that he's going to come out and do an expose, not because he cares about the children, not because he cares about the fraud. He came out because he heard, ooh, Donald Trump, the administration are mad at Somalian people. Let me find a cover. Let me find a story. That's what happened. That's the problem I'm having with this story. Why them? Why now? That's my problem. Not the fraudism, not the taking the money. I'm talking about what he did to get the story. If he got a lucky break and we're like, oh, he proved fraud, then good for him. But that's not his intent. His intent wasn't to prove fraud. His intent was because he was a white male who know that the administration does not like Somalian people. He probably didn't like Ilan, because I found her name and I put her name away. The House of Representatives, and he wanted to prove he wanted to get a got you. That's my problem. That's my problem with the story.
Okay, so I believe who was it that wanted to come up? I think it was, is it Candyman? I dropped the link so you could come up if you like to. Feel free to come up. I'd definitely like to hear from you. When you come up, make sure you're dressed properly. And sometimes people do weird things and try to play porn and all sorts of ideas of that sort. Please don't do anything like that. All right. So people are pushing back saying that you have a double standard.
Oh, wait a minute. You have to. You can see them in the background. You should ask them to show their faces, and then
Yeah.
after that, they could cover. They don't. Then they could shut off their camera to come online. But you need to see and verify who they are first before
Yeah.
they come up. Okay, go ahead. People are pushing back. I'm listening.
No, people are pushing back saying you have a double standard.
The problem is I don't have a public standard. This is what people don't understand. I don't have a public standard. I'm standing on business. I'm saying that I'm sick and tired of other people having have their own political standing when they're not trying to help other people. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Okay. All right. So yeah, if you'd like to come up now, we'll give her a second. You could hit the link and come on in. We'll have a discussion. You can have questions, or if you want to bring up a topic or what have you, feel free to do so. I'm going to get to the comments while she straightens that out. AP3 says, stop following the crowd. Sometimes the crowd's going in the wrong direction. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. How Hot says, the hell with the state taxpayers. Their federal money anyway. Okay.
I'm so
Callie
sorry. I'm
says,
back. I'm so sorry. I got a call. So here's my issue, and I do have issues with the current administration, and I stand on that issue because I think the current administration is full of incompetent clowns who's hurting America. That's my opinion. But I do know there's a bunch of group of people who are MAGA, Make America Great supporters of the current administration, and I get it. You love your guy, you have a right to love your guy. My problem is the unfairness of situation, not the situation itself. If Nick, by him doing the story, then he discovered some fraud, then that's good for him. He got lucky. But his intent is what my issue is. My issue is always the intent of what you do. The same thing with the police officer in Pennsylvania with Luigi. Their intent was to make a name for themselves by trying to capture this huge figure who unalive a CEO of healthcare. In doing that, they broke several of his civil rights, and that's wrong. In this particular case with Nick, he didn't care about Somalia daycare center. He did not care about the children. He did not care about the fraud. He cared because he heard the current administration had issues with Somalia people, and he found a story. That's what it is. I know because I'm also a YouTuber. I'm also media. Mel knows also. We know the difference. We're trying to do an investigative, tell a whole story from beginning to end, because that's what we do. We go to trial, we go to court, we read up. He went there and he got one portion of the story. He didn't go back to see, hey, what was their full amount of children. He didn't go, even if couldn't do that, even if he could get it registered, he could have found families. He could have came back 2 or 3 days just to see if there's a consistency. He just did a got you story because he doesn't like, because the current administration, and probably he don't like Somali people and he wanted to get them. That's my problem. My problem is not, is at the end of the day, you have to do things honorably. You have to do a good job. I don't care what it is. And if I see, mostly on the right, but if I see it's being done with a shady purpose, I'm going to call it out on it. And that's it.
yeah. Let me ask you a question. Let's move on to Donald Trump and Epstein. What are your thoughts in regards to a lot of the developments this week in regards to Trump and Epstein? Do you feel like Donald Trump is going to be able to get out of this squeaky clean, or do you think he's going to be impeached?
I don't know if he's going to be impeached. I will start thinking about impeachment when and if the House of Representatives go under Hakeem Jeffrey, who I love. I know what you're gonna say about Hakeem, what the right says. Then we can talk about impeachment. At the end of the day, I don't think the Republican Party are too scared of their base, and the MAGA people still, whether they're ashamed of him or not, they still are determined to back Donald Trump because nobody want to say that they're wrong. You understand what I'm saying? The MAGA community, as long as the MAGA community, Make America Great community, support this YT male at the White House, it's going to be difficult to get rid of him. The fact of the matter is, it's just going to get worse for him. The Epstein story is going to get worse for them. And at the end of the day, the MAGA community, the far-right community, the Republican community is going to have to decide which side of history you want to be on. Because right now, it's about history right now. It's about what our future generations going to look back and see about us. They're going to have to decide whether they want to keep this sexual predator who had a close relationship, friendship, who has not only one with Katie Johnson, apparently he got two with Maria, allegations and probably lawsuit that has his name as far as raping or sexually assaulting a minor. That's what's being said. Alleged. I could say allegedly because I wasn't there. I don't know the man. I wasn't there. So I don't know if he did it or not. I'm just telling you what we see outside that is being representative. This man is being called out. And let me tell you something. There's something that there's such a thing as deathbed confession, unalive confession, that can be used in court to find somebody guilty. If you've seen a lot of court cases where somebody's unalive and they say, "Oh, he's the one that did it," right? He's the one that unalived me. That could be used in court. It's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of people coming out. I mean, because a lot of piece of a paper, because Jeffrey Epstein is no longer here. So all these receipts that have Donald Trump name in it for all these years, right? With Steve Bannon of the world, with the Larrys of the world, with all these documents that are coming out that have Donald Trump name from his best friend, because that is his best friend at one time, right? And now we have millions of files coming out. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be up to the MAGA, the right, far right, and the Republican decided what they're going to take. Are they going to still take this YT man who is an embarrassment to the United States of America? Or they're going to still cover for him and then hold him high and stuff like that? It's up to them. But I can't even think of an impeachment until the House of Representatives even come in to even think we have a chance.
So Epstein's brother came forward to the FBI and he reported to the FBI that he thought that Donald Trump authorized the unalivement of his brother. And we have the email for that. What do you think about that?
I love conspiracy, but I like receipts more than anything else. I love conspiracy. The thing is, I just found out, first of all, it's interesting that his brother even submitted a report to the FBI in 2023. So it's not even something new that all of a sudden all these receipts are coming out and say, "Oh, by the way, I think he unalived my brother." He already said it since 2023, and they weren't paying attention. They ignored him. That's one. Now we have reports saying that Epstein complained to a doctor that his neck was injured, that something happened to his neck and he couldn't sleep prior to his unalivement. Like, there's just a lot of receipts. So I don't know. I need to see more, but I don't know. He just didn't seem, when I heard that Jeffrey Epstein unalived himself, I was surprised too. And I was surprised because he just didn't seem like that kind of person. Anybody who's that rich and that arrogant to actually get a sweetheart deal, and while you incarcerated and you get to go out, you still committing a crime. While you allegedly serving your time, you still doing all these stuff to these underage young ladies and stuff like that. And then you have so many power friends that you even have the prince, the Queen of England brother, and you have presidents, you have former presidents that are your friends, you have multi-million dollars. I just don't see that he's the type of guy that unalive himself. I think that he really thought with his money and with his paperwork and the receipts, he was going to get out of it because he had too much paperwork and too much receipts on these people. He was going to get out of it. If not, he was going to get pardoned by, because at the time he came in, he was there, he was unalive under Trump. He was unalive under Trump. So why would he be unalive under Trump when he has all the receipts? Steve Bannon even said, Larry, they all saw that he has receipts. All he would have done is go to Trump and say, "You better pardon me," just like Ghislaine Maxwell. That's all he would have done, because now he put Ghislaine Maxwell in this sweetheart spot type jail. He would have just put Epstein in a sweetheart spot. There was no reason, in my opinion, that Epstein should have unalived himself. But we're just gonna wait and see.
All right, very good. Could you guys take a moment, hit the like button, share, and subscribe? We've had a great night tonight. Thank you for the support. But just if you could hit the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, the hearts or what have you, it all helps toward the channel. Turn on your notifications. We do this every day. We consider the hot topics. Let me ask you a question. Are you able to say one good thing about Donald Trump?
You ask me this all the time. So allegedly, currently I'm a casino slot channel. He increased the amount that we have to pay taxes of $2,000. So that was good. Unfortunately, he dropped the expenses to 90% instead of us doing our losses at 100% for our taxes. He dropped it down to 90% in order to raise the hand pay to 2,000. So to me, it's like he is taking from Peter to pay Paul. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people here are celebrating the fact that he increased the hand pay to $2,000 and stuff like that. So I could say that people here appreciate his efforts. I'll say that. I don't appreciate nothing. Because I need my 100%. If you're gonna raise it to 2,000, I also need my 100% expenses. Now, if you did both, then we could talk. But a lot of people here are very excited because they don't have to pay taxes.
A lot of people in the audience are talking about Nigeria and how much Donald Trump loved the Christians.
I promise you, when this man transition out of here, y'all gonna find out the truth about this man, and I'm just gonna shake my head at y'all. Have anybody figured out where you go to church yet? Because I think I asked that question the last time. The last time I was here, I think I mentioned that I wanted to know if anybody was able to find out where Donald Trump go to church.
Mm.
Does he go to church weekly? Does he go to church? Was he confirmed? Did he go and get dropped in the water in the lake and get born again? I want to see it. Any of that happen? Does he have a pastor? Besides, I'm not talking about the far right wing pastors that all of a sudden show up and put their hands on his head. I want to see the full baptism, dropped in the water, pour water in his head, mess up that little that weave, that fake weave that he has on his head. I want to see the whole thing. Okay, because I don't understand how everybody thinking that this guy is a born again Christian or a Christian where he didn't do none of that. Where's his church at? Where's his church? Have anybody seen him go to church? I haven't seen him. He only show up for funerals and events. Where is his church? Can somebody tell me? Until then, he's not a Christian. He's faking. But that's okay. You guys love him. I'm gonna give it to y'all. Y'all the one that got him in office. You gotta give it to y'all guys. Y'all did that. Y'all got this man in office. Congratulations. All right? But don't sell us any of the BS is what it is, because it's all about BS.
I believe MAGA is a Christian organization.
MAGA's not a how is MAGA a Christian organization when MAGA is just a bunch of bunch of white tea people who wants Donald Trump in office? How is them MAGA's Christian people? Come on. I did really well. Yay! 1,300. Queen Chew. I'm sorry. Yeah. How is it possible? My mother came. I just gave my mom Grandma Flip money. How is that possible? MAGA, Make America Great, was a movement of a bunch of white tea people that started out because it started with the Tea Party, the Republican Party. The Republican Party wanted to move away from the Tea Party and become a bigger thing, but the Tea Party became mega. They wanted America to be first in everything. They felt that black people was getting ahead, women was getting ahead, minorities was getting ahead. They wanted to go back to the 1950s, 1960s, to the old days when white tea people was running everything, and the rest of us was just coming up, and we second best. That's what they wanted. How is that all of a sudden Christianity? We have born again Christians. If black born again Christians, we have true born again. But MAGA can't take over Christianity when we have black folks out here who are Christians. That's crazy to me.
They
You understand
said
what I'm
that
saying?
basically they say that MAGA and Christianity is more aligned because they don't allow for people to be gay and all of this other type of activity.
We have gay Christians. We have Christians who are pro life, not pro life, pro rights, right? We have a bunch of Christians. You can't Christianity is not a monopoly to white people that decide that they love Trump. That's not what it is. It's not. And they are not as aligned because Jesus Christ, who is part of Christianity, will not allow all this BS that you guys are doing. First of all, Jesus Christ believes in loving everybody, period, straight across. Second of all, Jesus Christ is not going to allow people to starve. So he's not going to allow, if he was here, to get the SNAP reduced. He wasn't going to allow the Republican Party to do away with our health care. You understand what I'm saying? He wasn't going to take away our rights. So we got health care. We have he may have been some questionable as far as pro rights. We will have to actually have a conversation with him with that because he believed in life. But besides pro rights, he wasn't going to have people attack transgender people. It's not the Christian thing to do. You understand what I'm saying? It's not. All this hatred that's coming out from the Christian party was not there. They probably was there in the original Bible, but not the Bible when in Jesus Christ, the Jesus Christ book, it wasn't there. It's about loving, turning the other cheek. So the
So
fact that a lot of people are saying that Christianity is more in line with MAGA is ridiculous. Maybe the first part of the Bible, possibly, but not the second part of it. Y'all lost the whole second part of the Bible when Jesus Christ came here and forgive all of our sins. What happened to Jesus Christ dying for all our sins? What happened to that? What happened to that? It's crazy.
Jesus said you must love your neighbor as yourself. So does that mean that you should let everybody come across the border and take
Let
good
me tell you
care of
something.
them?
It's not even about allowing everybody to come across the border. I am one of the people that believe that America was created for people to be able to come and have a better life because that's what happened with us, with our family. We came to America. My mom, my grandfather brought my mom here, got her passport, brought her here so she could have a better life. That's why I'm here. So I believe that people should be able to have an opportunity to come to America. Yes, I think there should be some rules and regulations and stuff like that. But I am not one of the ones that's going to begrudge a mom and a kid or somebody that's running from a dictator fears for their lives. I think they should have an opportunity to come here, and if they're lying or if they have or they're coming here for legal purposes, yes, they should go through the process and they should be sent home. I don't have a problem with sending people that shouldn't be here home, but I don't think that should mean that people cannot come to America. I think it's wrong, and I don't think Jesus Christ would have liked that.
Natalie
Because first of
said,
all, there is a saying that Jesus Christ is also an immigrant. Because his family came to the location because they were escaping the death of all the firstborn children. We forget that in the Bible. So he was an immigrant in the country that he was born in any which way. So what are we talking about here?
yeah, you're talking about what in Luke when he went into Egypt?
Wherever he was born, because I
Right.
don't have the Bible. I know he left his Mary and his father was John, right? Mary and John.
So
Joseph, Mary and
Joseph,
Joseph
it was
left their
Joseph.
country.
He was born in Bethlehem, and the angel told him to go into Egypt because King Herod the Great wanted to kill him.
Thank you.
So he went to Egypt until Herod the Great died.
So
So
he was born in stable. Thank you. My grandma
that's
Flip is here.
that's Luke
Everybody say
chap
hi to
Luke
Grandma
chap
Flip. Grandma Flip is here.
that's
Hi.
Luke chapter 2. If you want to know,
Thank you. Ooh, Lord,
I can give it to you.
I'm not a Christian. So thank you for giving us a Bible study. You just gave us a Bible study. But my point is
I'm not
exactly
a
that.
Christian. I'm not a Christian either, but I can answer those questions.
I love it because I'm not. I stopped studying the Bible when I was 8 years old. Okay, so I'm just going based on memories and movies and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he's an immigrant to Egypt. He wasn't born there. His family had to escape persecution because they was unaliving all the firstborns, right? And he had to escape to be born. So I don't think that if Jesus Christ was born here, he was gonna now turn around and say, "Oh, all immigrants should not
Nat-
come to the United States."
Natalie says, "Well, at least I won't see this woman in heaven."
And this is why you're not a Christian. This is a prime example of Natalie not being a Christian. Exactly that. You don't know that. That's the thing. You don't know me. You don't know what good things I've done. If you know who I am in real life, most of my Mel, people are talking in the chat, mommy. If you know me in real life, you know that most of my friends are Christians, born again Christian, to the point where they want me to be baptized. And every time I tell them I'm not a Christian, they're shocked. They're like, it don't make sense. Everything you do in real life is about helping others. It's a Christian thing to do. Everyone I know go to church. Every single one. I can give you like 20 of my gun violence survivor advocates who thinks I'm a Christian every day at work. Everybody thinks I'm like, no, I'm a lapsed Catholic. Right? So the fact of the matter is you don't know. Christianity is not wearing a red MAGA hat. Christianity is helping people. And that's what I do every day in my life.
Wait a
I
minute,
help people, I help veterans, I help people with mental illness, I help gun violence survivors, I help people who gets the civil rights taken away from them. You have no idea who the hell I am. I'm probably a better person than you are, Miss Natalie.
Callie says Jesus loves white MAGA.
Probably.
Too.
Jesus loved everybody. Jesus loved black people too. Jesus wasn't white. Jesus loved black people too. Jesus loved women. Jesus, remember, Jesus even loved and forgave the people. What is his name that actually sold him? He forgave him. Judas. He
Yeah.
forgave Judas. He loved Judas. When Judas kissed him in the cheek, according to the Bible story, he said, "I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're gonna do." You think Jesus went to the cross hating Judas? Jesus loved everybody. He even loved the people that was alive. While he was dying on the cross, if we are to believe the story, he forgave and gave rights to all the convicts that was unalive with him so they could get into heaven if we want to tell the story. You see, you guys pick and choose the Christianity. Y'all pick and choose what y'all want to do with the Bible. That's what y'all want to do. A lot of us don't. We hear the stories, whether we believe it exactly or not. We know what it is to be good people in this world. We know what it is to help others. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of you guys want to stand on this Christianity. Y'all about some BS. Y'all don't like other people. You don't like diversity. You don't like black and brown people. You don't like immigrants. You don't like Latinos. You don't like nobody. I don't care if you have them in your family. Because a lot of white people was like, oh, I have my friends and stuff. You are doing the pick me. Only the people you know you like. Only the immigrants you know you probably not immigrants. The black people that you know you like. You don't like people in general. You can't. In order to be able to be in the mindset that you are, there's no way you could be an honestly good, ethical person in the heart when you with all this hatred and bigotry and lies. It's just disgusting, in my opinion.
Okay. All right.
I'm giving a lot, huh?
No. Just looking at some of the comments, people are, they're just feeling like MAGA is definitely a Christian group, and they disagree with you.
Okay, they can. But as you go on in life, and you move on from the MAGA movement and you see what things are, you're going to come back. Because guess what? There's been a lot of dictators in a lot of countries that felt the same way as you did. They did a lot of horrific things in the name of religion. And now, as we are adults, we look back to what they did and was like, oh, that was messed up. In the Moses times, and stuff like that. If you look at the Bible, there was a lot of horrific stuff that we look back. If you just right there, if you are a Christian and you believe in Jesus Christ, what happened to Jesus was wrong on every level. But yet at the time they felt they were right. And that's what our grandchildren and our grandchildren are going to look back at this time and look at the MAGA movement and be like, yo, that was some ish. That was some ish. I truly believe that. But you guys stand on what you got. And my role is not to change your mind. If you think that you are a good person, you're Christian, and you protecting us and supporting people, and you're trying to save the babies, and you're trying to save the little girls from the from the transgender, if that's what you think that you're doing, then who am I to tell you not to do what you're gonna do? I'm just a black
Let
woman
me
in Brooklyn. Give
let
my
me ask you a
opinion.
question.
Yes.
Being a transgender, is that something in agreement with the Bible? Can you do that and be a Christian?
Let me tell you something. I think the Bible in general says you have to love everyone, right? You have to love every single person. That's what the Bible said. I mean, the Bible said, Jesus Christ said it. You have to love thy neighbor, turn the other cheek. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who you are. As long as you're born in this country, in this world, as long as you're born, you have a right to live a happy life. I don't care.
But no,
My
but
whole
what
thing
I'm saying,
about life is
no.
that I don't understand the transgender person themselves or what they have to go to in order to be born a certain body and then want to I don't understand. I'm not transgender.
But I'm saying, is that acceptable to Christ for you to be a transgender or be gay? That's what I'm saying.
I think that if we go by the law, then my overall answer would be yes. If we go by the direct meaning of love thy neighbor, right? Turn the other cheek, right? I think that it would be acceptable, right? Not prior, not before Jesus, but after in the new book. I think Jesus Christ, if there was a transgender person that came to Jesus Christ, right? To ask for help. I don't think that Jesus Christ would have turned them away and said, "Oh, you transgender, I'm not gonna do nothing for you." I don't think so. Not the way the Bible's read when Jesus. I don't think so. So to me, everybody has a right to live their best life. Period. I don't care as long as they didn't do any harm. They're not hurting anybody. They're not hurting children. They have a right. I don't have a right as a person, as a black person, to tell a transgender person not to be transgender. I don't have that right. I'm sorry.
Callie says homosexuals will not be saved.
Say again.
Homosexuals will not be saved, according to Callie in the comments. And then Natalie put in Leviticus 18:22. I guess you can't be a homosexual.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what people are
I
saying
hear
in the
you.
audience.
I hear you. But what you're asking me, would you're asking me as far as I'm not even going by the Bible. You're asking me what I think as far as would I think that's what you said. Would Jesus Christ accept it? I thought that's what I thought I heard you said.
Yeah, I
Right?
based it. I was just asking it
I'm
based on
saying yes, I
something you
believe
said.
that Jesus Christ that I read about in the new Bible would have accepted transgender people. Period.
When,
That's what I believe in.
when you say New Bible, are you referring to the New Testament?
The New Testament. Yes, I'm sorry, not
Oh,
the New
okay.
Bible, the New Testament. I
Okay.
apologize. I
No,
don't know the word.
I'm just getting clarification. That's all.
Yeah, it's New Testament. I'm saying the old. I keep saying the old Bible versus the New Bible, meaning the Old Testament versus the New Testament. When Jesus came, and my whole thing about the whole Jesus story is that Jesus came here. He died for all of our sins. Right. That been pushed down my throat for years. That he died for all our sins. He gave us a new beginning. You understand what I'm saying? So we have the right to live whatever life that we feel that will make us happy in this world. Period. Again, I'm not a Christian. I'm just telling you my motto. I'm not going to criticize another person because they want to be LGBTQ, transgender, or if they want to change their skin to light skin because they're dark skinned, or if white people want to be black by getting suntan or getting big lips or getting BBL. I'm not going to do that. Whatever makes you happy in my book, as long as it don't hurt anybody, that's all I care about. It's not my
Okay.
place.
But people in the audience are saying that it would affect your being saved if you transform your body to something different than what you were given. And shout out to you, Melinda Duncan. Nice to have you here too. Melinda says people always like to use the scriptures to love thy neighbor, but Jesus doesn't want you to be influenced by those who go against him.
And how do you know what goes against Jesus? What goes against Jesus? What did Jesus? Okay, so I know that they said in the New Testimony, did Jesus specifically say anything about transgender people? No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading the comments. Say it again.
Did Jesus say anything specifically in the testament about transgender people?
I don't think that was a real concept then. So I don't think you'll find a
I
Greek
don't think that's
word or
true. I
whatever.
think back in the days, if you look at the LGBT what about incest? All of that, it's not new. Being transgender
No, no,
or
no.
cross dressing, okay, maybe transgender is new, but cross dressing and stuff like that was not new. It goes back.
Well,
So I'm saying,
cross dressing is different. You
well,
said transgender, and that's what I'm speaking on. So,
no, well, transgender was not. We didn't have the surgery, the policy, the implementation to change somebody. But for many years, women, especially women, if they're LGBT and they represented themselves as men, will dress as
oh,
men.
so here it is. There's a scripture I could find it for you that
All
says
right, give me the scripture.
you can't defile your body. So hold on one second. Let me now
And
you
defile
might
your body is
hold
just
on.
being transgender, or defile your
No, no,
body
no, no,
means
no, no, no.
drinking and all that stuff like that. What are we talking
No,
about here?
I'm just telling you that's probably the closest scripture to what you're saying. Now, the way you interpret it, and you want to look up the Greek and the Hebrew and all that, but I'm just saying,
Mhm.
when it comes to religions, that's probably a scripture that they're going to use because I know Jehovah's Witnesses they use
It's the
that
same
to
shit.
defile the body, so you
It's not-
can't get a tattoo. They say that's defiling the body.
Oh, okay. Read the scripture for me.
Hold on, I'm going to find it for you. Give me 1 second here.
All right. Again, I still disagree. And was the scripture under Jesus or was it the Old New Testimony or Old Testimony? Mommy, you can go ahead and play.
It's going to be the New Testament. Yeah, there's so many scriptures that talk about defiling the flesh. So, but anyway, you could keep explaining whatever you just.
No,
While
that's it.
I'm,
That's what I have to say about it. I mean, I'm not a Christian, right? So you guys have the Bible. I don't believe that Jesus Christ would have unalived people or persecute somebody who came for his help if they were transgender. I just don't believe it. If you guys believe in your study that transgender people and other people will not go to heaven with you guys, then you guys gonna have a whole of heaven just like you guys have the whole of the current government in the United States, and you guys good luck with that.
all right.
That's it. That's all I have to say on the subject matter. My thinking is totally different when it comes to loving people and taking care of people. I don't care about all of the other things. That is not my business. I don't.
Right.
That's how I feel about it. And that's what I have to say about it. There's nothing else I can say about it except for that's my opinion.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all right, very good. So we've been running quite some time now, and I know you want to get back to your
Yes,
casino
yes,
life here.
guys. We are currently at the casino. We are Mama Flip slot channel. If you guys want to see it, especially the Trump supporters that's here talking mad crap. If you guys want to see us play slots, please. We are live now. We're gonna be live. Actually, we're live with y'all, but we're gonna be live on our slot channel in a few minutes at Mama Flip slot channel. Come over, but be advised, be nice because my mods are gonna kick you out.
Okay. All right. Well, there's some goodness here. Callie says, "I'll pray for you both." So she's gonna
Thank you.
pray for
And
our.
thank you. I appreciate all prayers and I do respect you guys, the Christians and prayers and stuff like that. I do believe in prayers and supporting everybody and stuff like that. So I appreciate all the prayers. But let's pray for our neighbors too. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, Mr. M. Roy says, "We'll pray for you to be given the vision of the Father, that through him he'll give you the wisdom." All right.
Okay, thank you. But I believe in the Jesus I want to believe in and the love I want to love. I don't believe in persecution and hatred and thinking that I'm better than somebody else, no matter what their sex orientation or their belief. But I don't believe it. The Jesus Christ that I believe, or the Father or the Son that I believe in, care about and love people and just want to do best and want people to be happy. That's just I believe it. You guys believe in hell and burn and fire, and that the only person that deserves heaven is you guys. I don't believe that. That's just
Some
me.
some of them are saying you can't even go to the casino if you're a Christian. That's crazy. Wow.
That's not a
insane.
that's a damn lie. That's a lie. You are lying. You straight up lying. Most of my you see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The far right Christianity is full of crap. We just had dinner yesterday in New Year's at our table with a Christian couple yesterday. In fact, both of them was Christian. And we were having an amazing conversation with them. And they were talking about a lot of the stuff that they do in their community and their Christian. You guys are lying to yourselves. You guys are lying to yourselves. Yes, Christians come to the casino all the time and they play. Are you guys serious? This is exactly what I'm talking about. The interpretation of the Bible is your interpretation. It's a lie. It's a lie. I promise you. So y'all better go talk to your fellow brothers and sisters, Christian brothers and sisters. What about the ones that play that bet on sports? So that means that the ones that only true Christians are Mormons. And they don't watch sports, listen to music or anything. At least the old ones. You guys are out of line. Y'all crazy. Y'all lost it. That's a lie. That's a lie. Christians do go to casino.
Alan says that you will be delivered to your sin, and the Lord will come on you as a thief in the night.
Right. But I think the Lord loves is exactly the fact that I help a lot of people. That currently I spend my time outside of work, aside do the content, that I help people with mental illness because I'm part of a board with that. I'm part of another group that help veterans. Okay. I also help and support gun violence survivors. Okay. And I also am a civil servant and I'm also a public official. And I also a community board that I help my neighbors. And most of my life, I've been helping and saving people. In fact, the biggest story that I have is the fact that I saved somebody. Can I show you something? If I can bring it up? Hold on a second. Let me see if I can bring it up. I know this time. Give me 1 second. Can I share something with you? I'm gonna share. I'm
Sure.
gonna send you something. Stay right there. I'm gonna send you something I want you to share. All right? I don't know, because I don't think I can share. Can I share here? Because I'm using my phone, so I wish I was in my computer. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna send you a link to something. I would like you to share it. All right, I'll be back. Stay right there. I'll be right back. Okay.
All right. Okay, guys. So we've been going live here for 3 hours. Would you believe? Would you believe they put a man on the moon, right? Okay. Lawrence says the Almighty Creator believe in hate. Okay. All right. Did you hear that? Laronda says the Almighty Creator believe in hate. Okay. Melinda says 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. That's the scripture I think I was looking for. It talks about, yeah, that's the one that talks about defiling the flesh. Okay. Thank you, Melinda. Definitely
Right
like
there.
having you around. Okay. So she's taking care of something here. Let's see if we can just mute. Give me 1 second, guys, here. Let me mute. Okay, okay. So I muted her. We're good now. Okay. Oh, hold on. I had muted you. 1 second. There you go. Oh boy. What's going on? Are you there?
Hold on. Go ahead and
Okay.
mute me. I almost got the story. I was just gonna send you the link on the text. Give me 1 second. I found the story. I'll be right there. All
All
right,
right.
I'll be right there.
Okay, so there you have it. Let's get through some of the comments. We have a lot of spiritual things. Let's see if I can keep up with you guys. AP3 says God never killed Adam. God created forgiveness. You sinned. I and the Father are one. Okay, so are you saying Jesus is God, or are you saying Jesus is the Son of God? Tell us which one. Kylie says you can't twist the Bible to fit your needs, ma'am. Okay, talking about her. Okay, so I'm not sure what point where she was twisting. Big Love says, how you going to claim to know what others believe? See, that's what we're talking about. Okay, thank you very much. Yep says Trump casino. That's a good point. One Love says gambling is not allowed. Definitely as a Christian, they do not allow gambling. Ranger says she'll believe in the Jesus she wants and believe it, but has a problem with how others view the Bible. Okay. Alan says the truth shall set you free. You will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Stella says y'all got her turned up. Okay. All right. Natalie says Bible doesn't say you can't gamble. Okay. All right. So I guess you can gamble. Let's get her back in here. Okay. You back in?
I am back. I just sent you the story, and you can you copy and paste it? Or maybe I should have put it in the comment section. Hold on. Would it
Yeah,
be easier to post it in the comment section or to you?
put it in the comment section so I could. Let's see. I don't know if I can. I don't think I can grab it from the I can't even grab it from there.
Okay,
I'm
I
not
just sent
sure.
it to you, but also I sent it to you on your text.
Okay,
All
very
right.
good. All right, I'll see if I can track it down. So just take a moment and just give everybody a little idea of why you support, the Democrats. Kamala. While I look this up.
I just always felt that the Democratic Party care more about helping people. That's my whole thing. When I became interested in politics after Newtown, the incident that happened in Newtown, Connecticut, and the 20 beautiful children was unalived and the 6 educators. That became a really impactful moment in history for me, and I wanted to do more. That's when I started really paying attention to politics. So then, and that's when I started picking and choosing. Prior to that, I was just living my best life in New York, raising my kids, raising my grandkids. And once I started learning more about the Democrats versus the Republican, I realized that Republican Party cares about taxes and doing things on their own. They don't care much about helping people, the hungry, the sick, and the mentally ill. They don't care about that. They care about taking care of themselves and their families and stuff like that, and saving money and taxes. That's what they care about. So that's why I felt that the Democratic Party would do more for the people.
Okay, I didn't receive any text message from you. I'm not sure.
Okay, I did. I just sent it. Hold on. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, hold on. Let me try it again.
Okay, all right, very good.
Did you get it? Okay, sorry about that. The internet is acting crazy over here. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna mute.
No, you can. I'm trying to bring this up. What you gave me, so you should be
All right.
talking. So
Okay, yes. So what he's doing, he's gonna show something that happened recently, because a lot of people want to talk about the fact that Christianity. You guys have your own interpretation of Christianity and what it means to be a Christian and helping people. My whole life is about helping people. Okay, you going outside? Okay, mommy, I'm gonna come to you. Okay, I'm gonna come. My whole life is about helping people, and to the point where something very impactful happened last year in 2020. Actually, 2 years ago now, in 2024, I in turn end up receiving an award for something that I did. But this is not the first time. This is the third time that something like this happened to me. And it happens consistently because of the type of person that I am in real life. You understand what I'm saying? I don't talk the talk. I am her. I tell people all the time when I say I am her, if you listen to the kids when they talk about her or him, he's her, I am her, meaning that I am very comfortable who I am as a person. And as far as when I speak about helping others and loving thy neighbor and helping each other, I am 100%. And I just believe that the MAGA, the Make America Group, you guys got it wrong when it comes to thinking that your type of Christianity is the answer to everything. It's not. Your type of Christianity just spew hate to a lot of people. And you guys just don't see that because you think that you're right and we're wrong. That's how I feel about it now. And I take it very seriously. And I have people that love me for many years that's MAGA. And they really seriously think that they're the right. They think that because we want to save the children, because we believe in pro-life, and people, you believe in pro-life, but you don't care that hungry kids are living in America. You don't care. You don't. You think the parents should figure out a way to feed their kids, not you. How can you care about pro-life, but when they're born and they're starving in school in these streets, you don't care about to help and support them? It doesn't make sense. The irony, the hypocrisy of the MAGA movement is crazy to me. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. So everybody could continue to talk about it and stuff like that. I like to think that, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, but I'm not going to change the way I live my life because certain people think that I should change it in order to be in their heaven. I may not want to be in your heaven because I don't want to be where you guys are at now. So anyway, can you share the story? They're going to show some commercials. So can we hear it? You got to see if you're going to hear it now. All right, make sure you're unmuted.
Thanks to New Yorkers who helped him onto the platform. CBS 2's Christy Kalishian hears from a woman who helped save him and is also pushing for more mental health resources citywide.
This give me your hand. Come on, baby. Could have ended much differently for a man on subway tracks who may have been suffering a mental episode. He later identified himself to commuter Marie DeLuce as Deuce.
Everybody just came together as a community to help him. So it was a beautiful feeling, but I also was like in the moment, like, is he going to be okay?
DeLuce was leaving work, walked down to catch her train at the Brooklyn Bridge City Hall station Wednesday night, just after 6, when she heard screaming.
People stopped the train, and I think that was what was the screaming was when I went downstairs.
He was already on the tracks by the time Marie got to the platform, so it's not exactly clear what led up to this, but she says he did not appear to have been pushed.
I didn't know how he got on the track. It was other people that was there that was like, he jumped.
She stayed by him as first responders arrived, and a confused Deuce later gained awareness.
I was on that track.
In the middle of the track, yes, sir. Right in the middle.
On the train track.
On the train track, yes.
Train track.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Duluth feels he represents countless other New Yorkers who need help. She said taking the video was second nature to her as a way to send an important message to city officials on mental health.
We need to do more. What does that look like? What does that mean? Why was Deuce on the track? And what happens to him after that? Once he leaves and they take him away, are they going to release him again? Will Deuce be back on the track again?
Duluth had to run to an important Brooklyn Community Board 18 meeting and couldn't stay with him much longer, but wants to know more.
I would love to find out who Deuce is he okay, what happened when he left, and is there anything I could do to help?
One of his shoes is still on the track, a loss incomparable to the alternative. At City Hall, Christy Kalishian, CBS 2 News.
The first time as mayor, thousands of people lined
We can stop the video.
Part of the historic day as Mamdani became the city's first Muslim mayor and
Oh, Lord.
the youngest ever. And right away, he took steps on his ambitious promises with.
So that's the new boss. But yeah, so this is a prime example of what I wanted to show you. Like, you know, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you now. Are you
Okay.
muted? Or do I have to
No.
get out again?
Yeah, go out and come back
All
in.
right, I'll come back.
Okay. The truth says always black people. Okay. Kylie says, humble yourself first. Don't be so proud. Okay. Is that a scripture too? Diane says, people that believe defund the police. Okay. Okay, she's back here. We're going to let her back in.
So
Okay.
I can hear you now. Can
All
you hear
right.
me?
Very good. Yes, yes, yes.
So this is like this is the third time that I actually saved somebody's life. Many years ago, I saved this man who got hit, and I got photos to show it. Who got hit by a taxi driver, and his fiance was hysterical, and I had to provide CPR and cover his head because he had the injury went straight into the meat of his skull. And there's other situations that I've been directly involved in and helping people life. What I'm saying in true life is that, you know, a lot of us live this life by about caring about our neighbors and caring about our community. Now, it was after the fact that I realized, and a lot of people told me that I could have unalived that day because Deuce's foot could have hit the third rail and we could have both gone down. The hand that he reached out to bring him up was my hand. It was my voice that he heard. He was in the tracks for at least 10 minutes by the time I went down there and I told him, hey, hey, hey. And then he turned around and he looked at me. And I said, okay, now, come on now, come to me. And he came to me and he took my hand. And I was there with him for 20 minutes, calming him down prior to the EMT coming to pick him up. So I didn't leave him in the train station. I had to run to the board meeting. When they said I had to run to board meeting, that meant that I normally what I do in the case of the other person I help, I would actually go in the ambulance with him and find out what happened to him. But I had to go to a board meeting and I had to give a speech. So I was there. I was there to make sure the EMT picked him up and took him and took care of him. I just don't know what happened after the fact. I followed up, but no one could tell me what happened to him. But what I'm saying is, this is true life, who I am in real life. So all this yin yang and everybody talking about, oh, you're not going to heaven, you're not doing all this. Is you don't know. You just don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who we are in real life. You don't know all the people that you think don't follow your set of rules and regulations, MAGA. You don't know who we really are in real life. A lot of us put our lives, and I mean, with the gun violence prevention, I work with people who unalive people their entire life. I work with families. You understand? I've been in dangerous areas. I'm a former Marine, for God's sakes. You don't know me to tell me anything. So you guys have to really start opening up your mind and saying that, well, maybe, maybe not everything we think is true. Not everything we think we should apply to everybody. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Mel. Any questions?
Callie is saying you're boastful.
I'm what?
You're boastful.
And the only reason I'm boastful, well, actually, no, we should be boastful. Jesus Christ was boastful. Jesus Christ said that I am the Son of God. Who could be any more boastful than Jesus Christ? Jesus Christ came out here as a regular man, said that my Father is God, God in heaven. We got to tell people what we do in real life because people look at us and they think that we're stupid, unintelligent, and lazy. You see, the only way for you to know what I do is for me to tell you. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't have to have this conversation with you if you didn't come in here, all of you guys calling me dumb, unintelligent, and going to hell and stuff like that. I wouldn't have had it. It's not about being boastful. It's about telling you who I am in real life. And everybody needs to be a little bit boastful. Everybody needs to tell people what they do so you guys understand that you guys don't run the country. Y'all don't know everything, and y'all don't know everybody. The black
Loranda,
faces that you see, the brown faces that you see, we are real people out here. We are real heroes out here. We really caring about people out here. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead now.
Loranda says there are many people that would have stopped and helped that guy.
Well, unfortunately, there many people did not help and stop and help that guy. I'm the one that got him off the track. You understand what I'm saying? I'm the one that got him off the track. Listen, go back and read it. I don't care. You can go back on my Facebook. There were people that stopped the train. So I didn't stop the train. As I said in my report, I did not stop the train. No one got him off the track. There were people on the track before I got there. Look at the video. He turned to me. Don't ask me why he turned to me. Don't ask me why he listened to me. He gave me his hand. There were other people that was trying to talk to him. He wasn't listening to anybody else. And once we got him off the track, everybody went home. It was just me and him until the EMT and the fire department came. Nobody stopped. Everybody got in the train. So no, that's not true. It's not true. I do think that New Yorkers, because first of all, the New Yorkers are the one that stopped the track. People stopped the track. I think the EMT because they came and they picked him up. I think the FBI, the fire department, and NYPD because they created a circle around us so I could talk to him. I spent 22 minutes talking to him, trying to bring him, rubbing his back and stuff, trying to talk him, trying to calm him down so they do it. So no, not everybody would do that. Not everybody would do that. But I am proud of my New Yorkers because they stopped the track. They stopped the track and stuff like that. They made sure that the train didn't come. Yes, they did that. I have to say that. In the NYPD EMT fire department, they did an amazing job. But yeah, that's not true. The thing is that you guys don't understand is that some people unintentionally they care about their lives first. It's not that they wouldn't have wanted to help him. It's just that that's a dangerous situation. First of all, nobody knew whether he was going to pull them on the track or whether his foot was going to touch the third rail, which is the electricity that took out all of us. Nobody knows that. Most people, they think about a split second decision. What can I do at that moment? For me, that split second decision mean to me is how can I help that person? You understand? But again, I'm just telling you this to show you who I am in real life, not to have a conversation about what other people will do. I just know that nobody else helped him. He didn't listen to anybody else, so there we're gonna go.
Michael
We'll
said,
go there.
Michael said, would you have done it for a white person?
Yes, I've done it for a white person. The guy that I saved his life many years ago was a white male. And Mel, I'll find a picture and I'll send it to you. He was a
Yes.
white male on Columbus Square with his white fiance. They were going to an event. He crossed the street in the middle of the street, and a cab did not see him and hit him broadside. His head, bang, liquid coming all out of his head. The meat was showing. His fiance was. I'm sorry, am I making it too aggressive? But his fiance was hysterical. She was crying and stuff like that. So nobody could help him because nobody was there. So what I ended up doing is telling did the first aid, call the police, and I got somebody to take off their t-shirt, white t-shirt, and I ended up wrapping his head to keep it safe. And I sat with him and I spoke to him until until the EMT. He survived and stuff like that. I did speak to his fiance like maybe 2 or 3 years later because they needed the photo and everything like that for their legal case. I can't believe that the taxi drivers. Insurance company didn't want to pay him. I guess it's because they felt that he crossed in the middle of the road, but so I was able to give them all the receipts so they could continue with their case. And I had an insurance person come and talk to me. So this is real life. So yeah, the person that I saved was white T. In fact, I saved the white T the other day on the train station. I have so much story. The other day on the train station, There was a white tee young lady. She said she just came from Indiana. I have a picture of her too. She just came from Indiana. And there's no disrespect to my Jewish family, but this Jewish male came into the train station in New York and tried to talk to her, and he just wasn't behaving rational, right? And she looked at me, she looked scared. So I told her, come here. And I took her hand and I sat her next to me. And I put my arm, me and her was arm in arm together. That's why we took a picture so we could show we arm in arm together after the fact. And the guy kept on talking to him, and I said, "Go away." He said, I said, "Leave." And he ended up, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. And he left. Do you understand what I'm saying? That was a white young lady that I just helped 6 months ago. It's not about color for me. What I'm telling you, it's not about color. You guys are asking questions, I'm going to answer. My thing is make America great, people. You guys are making this an issue as far as hatred and color, where the rest of us didn't make it into an issue until you made it into an issue. We are responding to your hate, your disrespect, your racism. We're responding to it. We ain't come to the table with it. Yeah, we're responding to you right now. We're responding to Trump because he came in talking about Mexican people, right? This is what we're responding. We're living in a world of responses right now. So
All
it's
right.
11 o'clock. We should be ending, right?
Yep, that's it. We're calling it quits. So thank you for coming on.
Of course. And I'm sorry again for being so late again. I was out of here. And right now, guys, I'm in a casino. I'm playing. Yes, I am a casino. And I'm about to go on live right now and go play slots with my mom.
All right, enjoy.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye, guys. We'll talk next
Bye-bye.
Thursday, I'm guessing.
Yes, indeed. 8 p.m.
8 p.m. next Thursday. All right,
Thank
bye,
you.
guys.
Nice
Okay,
having you. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, there you have it. We have it from Mama Flips. Okay. All right. We got a lot of people saying they're going to pray. Okay, a lot of prayers going up. Nothing wrong with your prayers. Loranda says she has a big head, can't see it, blowing up bigger and bigger. Okay, you're trying to say she's prideful. Okay, all right. Well, she saved a lot of people. That's a good thing, right? Saved a lot of people. Well, that's it for tonight, folks. Thank you guys for tuning in. We had a long night tonight, 3 hours. Who would believe, right? Let's see here. M. Roy says, I'm from the South. Even the Mexican citizens don't have enough faith in Mexico. Wow, that's something to think about. Pretty Ting says, a lot of hatred in the comments. Thank you, Pretty Ting, for your observation. All right. Stella says, like, share, and subscribe, and turn on your notification for upcoming shows. All right. Very good. Thank you for that. God 365 says, I'm so tired of her pride. Okay. Diane says, Jesus doesn't have the glory with her. Okay. So you're saying all the glory has to go to Jesus. John says, most educated group, y'all. Okay. We have a lot of Christians here tonight. We have a lot of MAGA, Republicans, and Democrats seem to be having a meeting of the minds, so that's a good thing. We will be doing another deep dive coming up soon, so definitely you want to tune in. I think the next deep dive will be on Monday night, so that will be at 8 p.m. On Sunday, we're going to have Calvin Johnson on. Actually, this Sunday, I'll be at the Cowboys and Kansas City. Well, Kansas City is not playing anymore, so I don't even know who we're playing against. But anyway, this Sunday at 7 p.m., we have the show with Calvin Johnson, the criminal defense attorney. So make sure you tune in for that as well. We're going to be doing some specialty topics. We're doing a deep dive. We're going to have some guys come on. Yes, indeed. Pretty Ting says, Cowgirls. You're talking about my great team, the best team ever, right? All right. Kylie says, God bless you. Thank you for the good energy. Yeah, Jerry needs to go. And not only him, a few others need to go too. So at any rate, Sunday, we're going to try to do a specialty conversation about Israel. Is the modern day Israel the same as the Israel in the Bible? So you might want to tune in for that. I have some sharpshooters coming on to discuss that matter from the reference. They're going to break it down from the reference of scripture to and with the politics. Seems like God 365 might know a few things. Nice to have you here. All the new names, new faces. It's nice to have you guys. But now it's time to go. It's been 3 hours. It's been a long night, and I've enjoyed every moment with you guys. We went over Alex Jones all the way to Epstein and what's happening with the Somali people. And I look forward to doing this again with you guys for News at Noon. Let's see. Virgil says Black Lives Matter ripped you off. Okay. Good night to you, Kale. Thank you very much. You've been very strong tonight. Diane says Israel will exist until Jesus returns. We're going to unpack that, Diane. So I would love for you to be around when we have this discussion. It's going to be great. I have some guys coming on to really explain it. So I'll be posting. Check out the community wall. I'll tell you exactly what time on Sunday that show would be. For the deep dive. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you to everybody for participating tonight. You guys were so amazing. I had a lot of fun with you guys, but I want to thank the moderators too. We had Stella, we had Mashona, quite a few people here to help with all the comments and so forth. So it's so amazing. It's good to see names coming back on the regular, like Pretty Tings and other names. Mr. How Not, I believe that's your name. I hope your COVID works out. You get to feel better. But good night, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll be back with you guys tomorrow. Thank you.
Different voices, but the same song. Loving a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the thing remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. The colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.